Yo, yo. Take your ugly ass back to Party City. Go get a new face, buddy. What are you staring at me for?
Ром!
What? You don't like this, you don't. Guys, we have to do 20 endings of this game. What game has 20 endings? How y'all doing? It's your boy JC. Peace. Salutations.
Привет, как дела?
Welcome back, Russian gang. Welcome back, Tiny Bunny community. We on a streak with Tiny Bunny content because I know this is the game is kind of hot right now, and I know some people want to see my endings, of course. Despite all of that, I want to appreciate again for the thousands of millions of times. Thank you for watching the content. It's been an overwhelming amount of love and support I didn't expect. Tiny Bunny, episode 5. If you guys are here and you don't know that I made 2 parts on episode 5 already, then you're missing out. Click the link in the playlist. Click the playlist link in the description. There you go. Good job. Oh my god. Every time I come back, I'm like, Jesus Christ. There's just so much to talk about. There's so much to get into. There's a plethora of comments, a mountain of people talking about it the last episode and the last part I did, and you guys were yapping. So first and foremost, Tiny Bunny episode 5. We talked about it in the last episode, but I didn't really expand my points further, but the Tiny Bunny team, Psychono, they're remaking episode 5. You guys told me that clear as enough. I've seen the posts where they're redoing it, and they were kind of emphasizing and saying that, hey, give us your criticisms and we'll redo it. Why? And shout out to Cell Impetus on Discord. We were talking about this, and it was very clear that it was just kind of weird that why would they make a remake of the episode that is already released? You guys gotta think about it. Like, they've been posting their Tiny Bunny social media posts for like over the past 2 years. They've been giving us percentages of how complete the episode 5 is. So we were thinking like, damn, they were taking their time with it. They're building it up. They're really like going through all the particular details to get it polished and fully done. And so when they finally say it's 100% done and it's ready to be released, and the episode 5 releases on December 5th, there's no reason to redo it unless there's some big erroneous issues with the episode itself. Some issues, maybe even plot hole issues that are so bad, so inaccurate that you kind of have to go back. But even then, you got to think about when you remake a whole episode, how does this affect the other episode? How does this affect episode 4 or 3? Like, you got to tailor it to how you already written or how you already had set up for the whole game to be. So now you have to like rewire it so you can make it appealable to the fans. That's just weird. Why would you do that in the first place? And I understand, like, it's been really tough for them because they've been doing this work on Tiny Bunny for so many years, and they've been getting tremendous love and support from the community just to get that flipped. Just for them to pull out the pitchforks and chop off their heads and treat these like it's a Mortal Kombat fatality. Like, I've never seen such like animosity, which is understandable. I've seen some few comments that you guys were also defending the reason why the animosity in the community was so big. So I get that, but like, damn, dude, it really sucks that they have to remake it just to appeal to the fan base. I don't think they should have really honestly done it. If there's 22 endings, surely it explains stuff. Surely it is good enough. And from the endings we've got so far, you know what, let's just get into it. So my thoughts on the endings so far, these are just a few endings. We've gotten so far the Where's My Boy ending, which was very unsatisfactory. It answers a lot of things around Anton and Oya and how Oya kind of continued the cycle of the monsters coming and haunting and asking for sacrificial meat, or they'll sacrifice her, the person. But it didn't really explain all the other characters. It didn't explain the mysteriousness around the creatures and what more they meant by the monsters not really liking the Forest Master. Like, there's no other things, connections, other characters that we've already established a development of a bond or understanding of character building. They just kind of let that sit. So I think in some aspects, to their defense, I think having multiple endings is cool in some degree, if it really explains or puts more pieces of the puzzle together. But then now it questions the validity of like the game itself. Is these endings all canon, or are we to just pick one of the endings and assume that this is what the game really is about, what the story is all about? It pieces all together through here, this alone. I'm not sure. I don't know what they really mean by all this. At the same time, with the even like, let's say the Mad World ending, the coma escapee ending, those two endings, at least to me, seem like explained a lot of the confusing parts in terms of like, why did we see Anton's finger? Why did we see if you picked the mitten, Evolva's mitten was bloody? Stuff like that. Our parents are like, look, just need to take these pills. Stop talking about a wolf and all this other stuff. You're going crazy. Reducing all of the hallucination, like all what we went through, the characters, all the animal creatures, you know, Biasha to Roma to Katya to even Polina, like all of these characters that we've been building up lore, understanding more, applying more theories, seeing different theories about the creatures, and them sprinkling out through the game, for it to just be like, oh, it's all hallucination, so it doesn't really matter. He's really just a psychopathic serial killer that, he's schizophrenic dude. It makes sense to how they've written it from all the things we've seen in the previous episodes and all of the bits that were kind of confusing. But it almost feels like, damn, I wish there was more meat and potatoes to some of the characters we were building. Because like, I was curious on even like Anton's parents, the theories, even around Caritone, like what all these specific things. Caritone had the amulet, all this other stuff. Like, is it really just all boiled down to just Anton deluding himself? Like, however, I don't think they're necessarily bad endings. I just think they're just not my favorite endings, and I personally would want something more substance added to it. Another thing I was thinking of is, and obviously we, again, like I said, with this episode, we're gonna see if we can try to get every other single ending. A lot of y'all said that like the other endings explain the other parts that we're confused about. So I'm curious now, like I'm very locked in now to see what really happened. So another thing that I'm also questioning the validity of like schizophrenia. Bruh. I'm no medical expertise. I'm not gonna sit there and try to speak out of ignorance. I don't know if you guys are experts at this or understand a little bit more about schizophrenia, but like, I guess I'm wondering, Anton's a 12-year-old boy. Like, I guess he get in situations where, he could get away or kill a kid because of schizophrenia or whatever, how it works. But like, I'm wondering, like, damn, like he just got away with all these kids, like killing these kids, and the police now catching up and really figuring out like, damn, it was him the whole time. With the domestic violence ending, I was just kind of like wondering what that all really meant, because like with that ending, we obviously kill the dog and we see the dog turn into a parasite, and the flashback to Elisa giving candy to the dog, which was actually parasites. So that's why it happened, right? But I'm like, okay, if we were to say that like canonically the Mad World ending and what they showed and explained seems like that's canonically the main part of the story, the actual explanation of the story where Anton's just hallucinating, would we to assume that that was also an hallucination? Obviously, like it's just something that happened and he killed the dog. Oya was there too, right? And Oya, then the monsters pulled up and that bunny creature pulled up and pretended like it was their mother, but it was actually the killer or whatever, and then the actual animal creature, and then they winded up eating them or whatever, I'm to assume. So like if it was an hallucination, and let's say we were to assume that Oya also has the same condition as Anton, since they're so similar, especially with how they confirmed the coma ending, are we to assume that like this time Anton didn't kill all the kids or whatever that were missing? The parents were domestic abusive? Because I mean, in the game they did show that like the parents just they were having so many issues, like a divorce was on the way. We can only really assume off of other endings, but we can't really know for sure. We're only really speculating or going off of what we think. Is any of these endings canon, or is they are just, I don't know. So I'm actually curious on the ending, so I'm thinking we'll probably try their ending that they posted, and I think it's called A Recipe for Love or something, and apparently this is like one of a good ending that people would like. So I'm curious to see what that's gonna show and what that all means. But anyway, without further ado, I think I'm yapping too much. We got comments. All right, I know there's some new comments that you guys posted. I appreciate everyone. Even if I don't get to y'all's comments, just know that I did read it. Yo, shout out to Comet again, the GOAT. OMG, I didn't expect to be in the video. I was rushing while writing my comment. If only I knew. I was still honored. Well, if only you knew that I'm gonna highlight you again, bro. Deadass, I want y'all to understand that, like, I feel like a lot of big YouTubers, especially when they get bigger, they forget about their community and what brought them to these spaces, what brought them the situation that they're in today, so they can like make this content. Even if I was the case to be a bigger YouTuber, like I would still read comments and I would still reply and react. And I feel like this is the least I can do, because to me, I really do feel like I want to support y'all as much as y'all support me, and I want to be more community oriented as I move forward and get a bigger fan base, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for y'all, obviously. It's a prototypical cliche thing you're gonna hear from a YouTuber talking about his community. Who cares? Yo, shout out to Cool Nas. I was seeing some of your comments, homie. I appreciate you. They explain most of the stuff, yet people say they didn't explain anything at all. Not all questions will be answered, and most of the answers usually become obvious with the information you have, so you actually need to think. I think this is cool in some aspects, because sometimes maybe you want the viewer and the audience to like actually like come up with their theories or really piece these things together and figure out what it actually means. Yo, shout out to Grisha. Everything is as usual. The reaction to the Tiny Bunny endings in the RE community. Everything is as usual. The project has accumulated a huge audience in a short period of time and continues to grow. Initially, there were 3 main endings and several additional ones: Elisa, Polina, Outsider, plus Eat Candy, Don't Eat. However, expectations were high and many theories and scenarios were created before the final episode was released. The final episode was expanded to include additional endings without changing the core concept. What if? This is what confused everyone. The kids didn't appreciate it, and most couldn't even get to the original endings. That's understandable. I was kind of confused on like if the 3 main routes are still there, but you know, I don't know, there's a lot of endings now. Yo, shout out to Cool Nas again. I'm satisfied with this episode. I've always expected the 5th episode to be what it was. Don't want to spoil stuff, so I'm just gonna say the only thing I truly didn't expect is the amount of endings where you die. I thought like at least 17 out of 20 will be death. One of them will be absolutely cruel to Anton, Mad World, and 2 will be someone happy but objectively not. There are actually more interesting endings than I thought there would be. Also, I expected the last episode to be really epic and crazy. There are reasons why I expected that. Most people either just hate unrealistic games, especially fantasy, or just find additional reasons to hate the game. I completely understand why people may not like the episode, but I often see them not bringing up the good stuff about it, and that's sad. I agree with that. Some people are just mean. People are everywhere. I've seen someone who can't literally comprehend that someone actually may like this episode. Devs spent like 2.5 years on the episode, and it's so sad for them to get hated so much. I always wanted to see the story they wanted to tell, not the story I wanted to see. And seeing that the episode is bad because it's unrealistic is stupid, even though it's not the only point they bring up, just one of the popular ones. I just don't support the hate. People say this episode is disrespectful towards the fans. I think it's much more disrespectful to hate the devs. They've worked on this episode for 2.5 years, unlike the fans, who are just waiting all those 2.5 years. I feel so bad for the devs right now. Honestly, man, that's a really good take. I know some of y'all probably gonna hate Cool Nas and hate me for that, but I kind of agree. I think if you don't like the episode, that's fair. If you don't like it and you think it could have been better, that's fair too. But to hate because you didn't like it so much that you felt like the devs are just smacking you in the face and spitting in your cereal and calling your mom a whore and then shooting the family dog and then going out and flying all the way. All right, okay, no, well, let me stop. I mean, the devs didn't do that, obviously, but a lot of people are acting like the devs did all of those things, all the above, exactly all those things. Yo, shout out to Freedom. I'm not gonna lie, I want to also say this, that when I drop these episodes, since these episodes are like over an hour long, it takes some time for the auto caption to render and process. So if you're a Russian speaker and you want to listen, you want to read the captions, it's just going to take some time to process. So just bear with me. Yo, shout out to Chertila. I think I said your name correctly. If I didn't, feel free to let me know. I used the translator. Sorry if there are errors or any misunderstanding. Please note, when we're put in the mental hospital, the murders continue and blamed on the highly intelligent wolves that hunting packs. Secondly, okay, so you're talking about the coma ending. I guess they did mention that the wolves were like attacking people or something like that. So like, interesting. Secondly, when we don't let Polina in and sacrifice Oya, Elise starts talking to us, even though she wasn't with the other animals before. Try refusing the treats in the 4th episode, then kill the dog, let Polina. You can see what happens if you choose the amulet or the cross. Now the choice won't be meaningless. Okay, I was assuming that there's something that we needed to do correctly for that to change. Finally, and if I'm not mistaken, the good endings can only be achieved by collecting all the clues about the animals in the previous episode. Taking the police officer's number. I don't remember the rest of the steps. I think you need to do everything as described above. There are not 22 endings, but 20, and 2 of them are objectively good. The authors won't change episode 5 beyond recognition. They'll fix plot holes and improve graphics in some areas, as they were accused of using AI. Oh, really? I used to think all endings were unrelated. Perhaps they are, but now I see that the animals do exist in all the endings, but there are many contradictions, and I recommend not skipping the songs at the end of the endings. I think most of them are very beautiful. Well, the problem is the songs got copyright. You kind of have to. So in the first half, you said that the murders continue or blame on highly intelligent wolves that hunt in packs. So is that just a coincidence that wolves are actually killing them, or is that something else? Bruh. Because if we're to believe that Anton is just hallucinating and killing these people, killing kids, then that's one thing. But if murders continue even after Anton is in the mental hospital, then bruh, I don't know. Like, that's where I'm confused with the coma ending. Like, is he still quote unquote killing these kids? Yo, shout out to you, bro. I do not know how to say your name. I'm gonna be honest. But you said, hi, Josh. As I understand it, the Russian community's outrage is related to the length of time it took to create the final episode. The thing is, the novel itself was a bit of a rage among games of this genre reviewed by Russian YouTubers, because its plot's ambiguity after each episode allowed for various theories to be invented, linking the plot to real crimes that occurred during those years. It was hype-filled, fun, and interesting. The game's fan base began to dive into groups of people who admired, quote-unquote, admired specific character. This in turn spawned a slew of fan fiction and mods. The most popular mod was Another Story, released after episode 4. Its plot focused on Katya, whom everyone so desperately wanted to save in the original novel. Beyond fan-driven efforts, hype began to build around podcasts featuring the game's creators. Psychono tried to answer the difficult questions as concisely as possible, but this still became the basis of new theories and hype videos. Because of the final episode took so long to develop, all the expectations, speculation, and theories grew to unprecedented levels. This became the root of all the resentment. Writing the plots for each ending, polishing the game, creating the quality of the illustrations, and striving for a high quality gameplay experience without bugs or lag took too much time. That's another thing I wanted to drive. Another thing I realized, if you're remaking the episode, then you would have to redo all the illustrations. But if the other comment, I forgot the name already. If they're not really like recreating the whole episode, they're just fixing up plot holes and other things, then that's one thing. I was about to say, bro, like, you already got voice actors, you already got everything polished up. Like, how the hell you gonna redo all that? Fans were already waiting for the final episode, not in hopes of revealing the developers' intentions, but to satisfy their own bloated anticipation and fantasies. The developers literally became bunny themselves, supposedly bringing treats to the fan monsters. That's crazy, bro. The treats weren't received well, and now the monsters are devouring the bunny itself. Damn. These dashed expectations have led to Psychono, the lead artist, being accused of shoddy work, using AI, ripping off fans, and so on. Although fans donated voluntarily in the hopes of speeding up the writing process for episode 5. That's the result. Now the developers are being accused and humiliated on all social media simply for doing the things their way, not what the fans expected. The emphasis was on varied endings, which is why some storylines end abruptly and feel underdeveloped, and feeling given the 2.5 years of development. However, these are still endings with a completed plot, yes, not with the answers to all questions, but that's not necessary. A game with branches and choices shouldn't answer all questions in a single thread. If you want to understand something, to get to know the game inside out. In my opinion, the game can be criticized for certain aspects, but that's all. Colossal amount of work was done, and the passion for every member of the indie studio was astounding. I really want to discuss the endings once you complete all the routes. It is difficult to do so without spoilers right now, so I'll be patient. Real bro. Hey, hold on. Salute. This is probably the realest comment. I'm not gonna lie, it was a very concise, thoroughly well said comment, and it was very critical, but it was also trying to be poignant to the point. Again, with the other comments you guys been saying, to my understanding, it seems like I think a lot of people are just really outraged because they didn't get what they wanted from the endings in the game after 2.5 years of development, and because of this, they're taking all their anger out on Psychono and the team, Tiny Bunny team. But yeah, I think that's another thing in aspect is that like how long it takes to develop this, because once you write the story down, now you got to create the graphics, the illustration, you got to get the music, you got to get the voice actors, you got to get all of the, you know what I mean? You got to polish everything and get it all cute and wrapped up. Honestly, so far, I don't feel like I've gotten a product of a game that's just complete ass. So far, I felt like I've gotten is like interesting parts that explain a lot of things, but it still feels like I'm missing puzzle pieces. Yo, peace to Chocolate with Tea. Hi, I wanted to tell you some interesting things related to animals in Slavic mythology. I think you might find it interesting. The fox is a traveler between the world of the dead and the world of the living. She is a mediator, trickster, deceiving both people and animals. She often confronts the foolish wolf, whom she easily outwits. In folklore, she often deceives and eats other characters, even people. Generally, the fox in both folklore and in the game is the only forest animal that has received a proper name, with a respectful one at that. A name and blah. I don't even know what the you just said to me right there. What is that? Patronymic. Interesting. An older version of the fox name in lore is Eliza Veta. While closer to the modern time, she began to be called Fox Eliza due to the Russian translation of Pinocchio fairy tale. Similarly, in the game, Eliza is the only one who has a name. Likewise, the fox, that is something I noticed too. The fox is the only animal that can be related to human. She's affectionately called a sister in folklore. The rabbit here, on the other hand, is cowardly, faint-hearted character who does everything to save his own skin. Yes, he can be a positive character, but not always. The general attitude towards him is rather negative. Interesting fact, he's associated with the master of the forest in folklore. He is also connected with the moon in the world of the dead. The bunny is often depicted as a servant of the forest spirit I'm not gonna say. Whatever. I gave up. Nope. He is more of an unclean animal, quote unquote, but the fox is treated with respect even if she is a trickster. The bunny was also often considered a sacrificial animal, but he's not exactly evil, but dangerous. I don't even know what that is in his symbolisms. Due to his connection with the moon, the forest spirit, and the realm of the dead, he does have some good qualities, but you need to be careful with him, just like the fox actually. What am I getting at is in his cowardice and desire to protect himself, Anton is quite capable of anything. In such moments, in my opinion, he is the closest to the bunny in true nature. Running away, hiding, deceiving for the sake of life, that's all the bunny is capable of. Bowing down before the master of the forest, jumping to the moon. Eliza, on the other hand, is in my opinion suitable for the role for the guide for Anton for the world of the humans to the world of the animals. She herself goes back and forth between these worlds. She's cunning, quite a trickster. Moreover, the fox is always looking out for herself and turns everything to her advantage, ready to outsmart even the forest master. I wish their symbolic animal characteristics were more pronounced. Interesting lore, interesting facts. I didn't really I don't know a lot of folklore mythology, but like I could definitely see how if this is all like true, like, you know, this is all like to the bone. Like they definitely, I could see how the Tiny Bunny team was really trying to like play into this. Either way, that's it, man. There's so much endings we can do right now. What we're gonna do though is we're gonna try to do the Tiny Bunny's team's ending, like what they pointed out, how to like finish one of the endings. All right, y'all. So I'm just gonna cut straight off to the book. I'm gonna cut the bullshit. All right. I just spent the last 2 hours realizing I'm a f***ing dumbass.
Bruh.
So I said I wanted to do the recipe for love ending. I didn't realize though, the recipe for love ending is bull in a way. Like, it's just, I didn't know it was like this, like how difficult it was to get it. Let's just redo it. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Hey, put your seatbelt on, bro. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, I promise you. So when I was trying to do this ending, another thing I noticed is that I think we have to examine all the objects in the area because they lead to other stuff. You click this little like I captain. All right, bro. Look, I need some caffeine, bro. Look, calm down, bro. If you click on it, guys, this is Dora the Explorer. I'm showing you how to do the damn game. You click on that. I have it on skip mode, so we're just gonna try to skip through this. We already been through this. Come on, watch the other parts. Telephone on the right of screen. Click that. We did that. Damn, boy. Said, hey man, move. Get this shit going. I'm tired too. It's like, damn. The skip was quick as shit. So if we go to the kitchen, it's kind of the same thing. You click the calendar. There's the radio. There's that word cross puzzle. There's this little note thing. Which this note, right, guys? It's the phone number to Tikhovnov, the police officer, obviously. What the f? I just happened to click it again.
Куплю жене сапоги.
Это просто, Лёня. АО ММС.
Hey, no copyright. I was about to sing my no copyright song. All right, we get Mama's out the way, Mama Bear, get her out the way. And then we finally get the number. Then we go to the front yard. And this is when we decide to either take Vova's mitten or not. So what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna make saves here because they seem like these saves are pivotal. So I'm gonna make the first save here. So just in case we need to go back to different endings to do different stuff for different endings, we need to have these points where they push you to kind of like pick a. Oh my god, my brain. So if I'm looking at Psychonos, if we're looking at the dev team's ending guide, right? In the ending, it does say that we do have to take his mitten, from what they're saying. All right, so let's examine all these items. Triceratops. We don't care, buddy. We're doing an ending. And then we do that to open it up to place the mitten and the number. It's actually funny. I don't think I've ever like observed Oya's room and clicked on anything over here. Got a teddy bear. Got a window. So from here, I'm gonna save again. This looks like an option. So it says, yeah, because I think it says to record the report. And this, if you guys remember, this is the footage, the TV footage that recorded. This is the report footage of that weird thing. All right, well now we're in episode 2. All right, this is when we accept or reject the tweets. I'm gonna just take it for the sake of, I don't know. They don't specify in the ending, so we're just gonna take it. It don't matter. Now just thinking about it, if Elisa fed Zoka the parasites, what did Anton feed? If like maggots, like the same thing, like I don't know, I'm kind of curious. All right, let's click on all these. Yeah, so this is the dude that we need to observe. Oh, you see, so we need to make sure we get a close look of his face, because like we gotta like draw the. Take your ugly ass back to Party City. Go get a new face, buddy. What are you staring at me for? Like, I've never liked how he stared at you. For what, buddy? Drill, we're gonna save this part too. So page 21 is gonna have all the key points so we can go back and kill ourselves. All right, so we do punch him in the face. If you ever touch me again, hold on, let me just punch him. Shut up. So when it says stick to Elisa branch or Elisa branch, I'm assuming it means this part, right? Before we do that, let's examine everything. There's a paper plane. There's this bag. There's a bucket. All right, let's go to Elisa. All right, let's click on this squirrel, syringe. So obviously if we click on the hangman, that'll cue the next sequence with, oh great, my camera died. Hey bruh, I have the Panasonic Luminex G7. If anyone is a camera nerd in the community, if you guys have the same camera, can y'all explain to me why this thing always randomly turns off? It's getting annoying, man. It's getting really annoying. I was gonna say, let me do, before we do the hangman, let's click on this dude. Yeah, he disappears. Skip all this, because we did all that. I think we have to tell him to fuck off, from my understanding. Because if we do, he gets beaten up, and then I think we cue a different part. Because I remember the last time we did an alternate, that one episode, you guys remember in episode 4 where we did an alternate route, we did this. And we see the fox. Oh, you see the fox? Orange spots flash there. A fox, an absolutely regular fox, stepped out of the bushes. Hey man, as that, I'm forgetting your name, but that theory about the, like Slavic mythology with the foxes and the bunny. I wonder if this means anything. It probably doesn't. I'm just trying to act like I remember everything you told me. You said in the comment. I'm really stupid. This was weird because like, why the hell are you smiling? Tell the pig to shut up. I wonder if this is Elisa or the bunny. This is where they beat the ever-living shit out of them. But I guess this is not. And in the Mad World ending, this is not even true. We just killed the All right, so this is the part where we're like walking through the forest. And so this is important because we have to click on the dude. A silhouette appeared on the side of the road out of the fog. We made space to let that person through. And this is the dude. Because of my blurry vision in the twilight semi-dark, it felt like it was a ghost floating towards us. Okay, cleft lip. Remember, okay guys, this is cleft lip, dude. Wait, hold on, he got that chain on. Hold on. It might be a little rough on the face, but hey, bro, he's stunned on. Okay, hold on. Real only. Real only wear this. The silhouette got close. I was able to make out features like of adult man. I recognized his dumpy outline. He was smoking near the school and outside. I'm very curious, man. I really want to see different endings that explain why this dude is here. I'm trying to remember. Did I even click on the dude while they were walking through the forest? I think I did. My memory is so trash. Okay, episode 3. I'm gonna skip through all this. There's this dude. No, I didn't mean to click that. Good thing I saved. All right, guys, we're gonna save this part. When he's not looking, we do that, and we get his... Try to look through the files and get his Simeon's ring or his finger. All right, I saved this part. We're gonna tell him so we can draw the portrait. But we gotta get the cleft lip. We gotta get the you know, obviously the Band-Aid. All right, let's hand it over. There it is, this massive, cold, chiseled face. Squint his eyes, sharp like a blade. I hesitate before handing the drawing.
Вот, примерно так.
Примерно?
Oh, this is different. I remember if you f it up, they just kind of like laugh at you in a way. Something like
Да
this.
ведь он один в один тот тип.
No, he looks exactly like our person of
Так
interest.
вы его тоже видели?
So you saw him too?
Заячью губу. Видел недавно возле
The hair-lip
поселка.
man. Yes, I saw him near the village.
Думал, он проездом. Давно подался дальше гастролировать.
I thought he was just driving through and continued his journey a long time
Он
ago.
выходит здесь отирается.
Well, apparently he's still snooping around here.
Еще он рядом со школой стоял и в лесу вечером.
What is this like white Christian church ass music, bro? We ain't finna praise white Jesus. Turn this shit off like you just found the cliff lit man. Don't mean shit. In Mad World ending, he's fucking delusional. This don't even matter. I also saw him standing near the school and inside the forest during the evening. Jehovah looked at me as if he saw me for the first time.
Ну, пацан. Ну, молодец. Уже хоть какая-то зацепка.
God damn, am I finna get a ticket to Disneyland? The way you praising me? Damn. What a lad. We have a lead thanks to you now. He slapped my shoulder and went towards the door. Then he stopped and called out to me.
Талантливый ты парень. Тебя в Академию художеств с руками оторвут.
They'll kill to have someone like you at the Academy of Arts. Well, they don't need that anymore. They got AI. AI can do everything. I can do anything better than you. He left. The bell rang. Leah Polo marched past, give me a curious look. My classmates went silent as if somebody lowered their volume using a remote. They followed me with their eyes the whole time I was passing between the rows, but something had changed about their gazes. Even Katya was different now. The girl sitting next to Katya smiled and offered me Skittles candy. What the f is all this glazing? Last time I checked, everyone was f***ing whispering and drama frogging. Now all of a sudden, oh, I made the policeman happy. Want to get on my dick. Okay.
Спасибо.
Man, get out of my face. Your breath smells like Olive Garden. Get out of my face. Oh my God, another one. Draw you for $500. I'll do it. I got a price. What's the currency in Russia, bro? Come on, bro. I got a price. You sound like Oya, so you sound annoying. Let's skip it. Did you learn how to draw by yourself? I don't expose secrets. What the hell?
Можешь Ван Дамма нарисовать? Я дома как плакат повешу.
Y'all acting like you about to pay for this.
Эй, я вообще-то первая спросила.
I was the first to ask him. Oh, brother. This is why we see you in the meat grinder. Don't worry about it.
Меня уже обещал нарисовать по дружбе.
As a sign of friendship. I get that you're Tsundere, but you are like a really annoying Tsundere.
Да-да-да.
Ugh, and you got this annoying ass. Yes. Tell them, Anton? Yeah, right. A thought flashed through my mind. As soon as I showed some promise, Katya immediately decided to befriend me.
Прости, но я уже обещал другой.
Damn! And you can tell that to all these other people. Sorry, but I've already promised someone else. Katya's face contorted slightly, but she didn't say anything back. Man, shut up.
Я в тебе не ошибся, Тошик.
I was right about you, Toshik.
Пацан!
Attaboy,
Не
you didn't
спалил,
write
как
us
мы чуть было
out.
свинью не забили.
Alright. So this is when we do rock, paper, scissors, I believe. And then we get the Polaroid. Okay, I need to stop. That was too much. I guess it doesn't really matter if we win this, but I'm gonna see. What's up? Ooh. I'm gonna hit your ass again with scissors. Got your ass. Hit your ass again with scissors. Yup. Then a rock, because I know your ass is stupid. Boom. Another rock. Boom. Oh, okay. Another rock. Yeah, I got it. Okay. I won. I didn't know you could actually win. I always lost that. Damn, I had the skip on, so I kind of skipped that. All right, so this is the stuff that we have so far. So I guess it doesn't really matter what we pick. So this is interesting. They don't really say anything about inviting Biasha. All right, so I'm gonna invite Biasha.
Ну, Биаш, не обижайся.
I think we picked up something. I already skipped it. But I'm gonna go in the garage. There's like a lot of things to examine here. So there's this. There's this. So I think we did all of them. All right. So this, we're gonna have to actually try to help. We're gonna have to help her. We're gonna have to save her. Okay, if we did this correctly, we should take a photo of her braids. Okay, let's keep clicking. Yeah, this is a very graphic scene.
Какого хрена? Мы же могли... Надо убираться отсюда.
Wait, did we not take a picture? Oh
Что
my
ты делаешь?
God,
Никто
bro.
не...
So for some reason, I don't know how did I not save her? So I don't know if I was actually trying to save her that time. We did all we could. Okay, then we actually did. Okay, so I think you have to click on her body to actually pull her up, or try to. I unzipped my backpack with ice cold fingers. Are you insane? I left the Polaroid up. Oh, there it is. I need proof. Okay. There it is. Oh, shit, this is different. Okay, we take a picture. Click. The braid fell inside the meat grinder, but the giant machine stopped after letting out one last gurgle. See, now I don't know if this means we could still get the Mad World ending. I'm assuming, or unless we just were delusional the whole time. Now, I don't know. So this part is where I'm kind of confused. Do we accept it? Do we accept it or reject it? We can always come back to this if we don't get the ending, but I'm gonna refuse it. Okay, so now we're in episode 5, y'all. So this time, we have to kill the dog. Okay, let's see. It seems like there's some different things that happen, so let's not try to skip through this too much. Crunching sound. And then Oya starts tripping. Parasite. Yeah, I guess if it is kind of weird if you're like, if you do the route where you like go to the garage and you save Katya with Romka and then you do it again after you knew that Katya was dead. It's kind of like playing into the hallucinations that Anton is reliving, or things happening, then he wakes up and that thing didn't happen, like Oya being cut off. But we all know that, like, with the Mad World ending and the other endings, it seems like he's just hallucinating. But I wonder what more is to be said about these endings, how it ties with the other parts of the game that we've been playing through. Anyway, we already yapped about this. So with this part, I'm actually gonna go with Katya because they said that you don't really have to pick. Like, there is no specific one that you go with. I want to go with Katya and see what happens with Katya. I looked at Polina. Her innocent smile didn't convince me. Even though the snowy veil enveloped more and more of the schoolyard, I could see things much more clearly. I still couldn't trust Polina.
Прости, Полин. Кате моя помощь нужнее.
He said it. I don't even need to read it. He said it. Polina looked like she got slapped in the face. Well, she got something to her face. Polina looked like she got slapped in the face. Her eyes narrowed and the smile withered on her quivering lips.
Если ты, конечно, не против.
If you don't mind, of course.
Полин.
You don't, right, Polina? Rumka's appearance broke the awkward silence. Oh, he walked out from... What the f... I was gonna take your girl anyway. You wasn't finna do nothing. You still bummed out about Biasha. Shut the f up. He seemed like losing his friend put a great weight on his shoulders, literally. Katya grabbed me by the elbow and I paid no that mind. What? You don't like this nigga. You don't. Don't lie to the people. You are, bro. That's why your face got ripped off. Anyway, shut up. Go take that Ugg mug, bro. Go get Ugg mug. Polina rushed towards Romka and hugged him? Oh, nah, bro. She's fake as bro. Yo, that is some lame. She don't like you. Hey, little. She don't like you. She does not like you.
Ромочка, мне было так плохо без тебя.
I guess true feelings. We already know how she feels like with the mask off. You feel me? We already heard what she actually felt like with the mask off. So you can die. I don't care. Shut up.
Где ты пропадал?
Where have you been? Ugh. Man.
Быстро она переобулась. Не обидно, Антон?
No, the fuck it don't. Come on, girl. Let's go. I shook my head. Bye-bye.
Ну не реви, не люблю этого.
Come on, stop crying. I don't like that.
На уроках была?
Did you go to school?
Была.
I did.
Бяша объявлялся?
Have you damn, he still don't even care about you. He's more worried about Biasha. Roma spat in the snow and then he turned his eyes towards Katya and me.
А вы Бяшу видели?
Have you two seen Biasha? I shook my head surprised. We both saw that sneaker. Romka confirmed it was his friend's. It was unlikely that Biasha gifted his shoes to the serial killer of his own accord. now was wandering the village barefoot.
Ром, Бяша был в гараже.
Oh, I say the same thing. So I guess we don't run into Romka when we walk back to Katya's, I guess.
Был и что? Мы тоже были живы-здоровы.
He didn't look of a sound mind to me at all.
Я не успокоюсь, пока не выясню, что с Бяшей.
Man, that do not give a fuck about you, Polina. I'm telling you right now. He pulled out a pack of posters from his coat and then counted several of them and then handed to me.
Развесь вдоль дороги.
Put them up alongside the road. I don't like how this just act like he like the substitute teacher. He could just come in here and start acting like we give a fuck about you, bro. You do not have aura.
Конечно. Любой каприз за ваши деньги.
Right. And he paused for your dosh.
А если финансы поют романсы, ищи дурачков дальше.
And if you're broke, tough luck, good bloke.
Чау, какао!
Nobody knows what you're talking about. Roma turned a deaf ear to Katya's comments and he just rubbed Polina's shoulder.
Идем, малая.
Baby? Polina, you literally were talking about this a few episodes ago. Let's not act like you like this. You're going through 5 stages of griefs. Go click the YouTube tutorial. Can't walk alone around here these days.
Идем, Ромочка. Я столько всего тебе хочу рассказать.
She's so... Bro, these kids, bro, these are children. Children. Bye. Have fun with dry lips.
И жили они долго и счастливо.
I don't know.
Катюш,
Oh, that's your mama. We looked up at the second floor window.
вернись в класс. Придется тебе меня подождать.
Get back to class, you'll have to wait for me.
Работы море.
I'm swamped with
Лилия
work.
Павловна, я могу Катю проводить.
Правда? О, это было бы
Правда?
чудесно.
That would be wonderful.
Но, Кать, дома и поесть нечего.
We just don't have anything to eat at
Я
home.
приготовлю, мам. Все будет хорошо.
Okay. All right.
Мои вы славные. Ну, будьте аккуратны там.
I don't know how they're allowing their kids to do this. Literally, when there's serial killers in the mist.
Еще раз прости меня. За сегодня.
See, to Sonder, Katya. Again, I'm sorry for today and before.
Ты, наверное, думал, я какая-то гадина.
You probably thought I'm a nasty person, huh?
Честно, посещали такие мысли.
Honestly, I had similar thoughts, yes.
Ну и дурак.
Idiot.
Хотела же честно.
You wanted me to be truthful.
Я тогда тоже буду честной.
Then I'll also tell you the truth.
Думаешь, я тебя задевала, потому что садистка?
I thought I bullied you because I'm a sadist or something?
Да-да-да. Как бы не так.
Yes. Yeah,
Я
right.
не знала, как по-другому привлечь твое внимание.
I just didn't know how to get your attention. Yeah, I gave Katya a surprised
Вы,
look.
мальчики, такие недогадливые. Ай.
Katya furrowed her brow, and we stopped for a moment.
Все нормально.
I'm fine.
Пойдем
Let's move.
дальше.
На костылях, наверное, очень неудобно.
Walking with crunches must be so uncomfortable. Mundane talk like that saved me from the embarrassment caused by Katya's candid words. I still had the image of us holding hands back at the police car in my mind. It's all a dream, bro.
Привыкаешь.
You get used to them.
Мама очень помогает.
And mom helps out a lot.
Ей и так одной нелегко, а тут еще я коллег.
And she already has it rough, and now I'm a cripple
Я
as
могу
well.
спросить,
Can I ask you something?
Рискни.
Take your shot.
твой папа...
Your dad. Katya curled her lips. I entered a dangerous territory, but she relaxed after a moment and replied,
Папа работал в психодиспансере.
Oh, can he psychoanalyze me? Dad used to work in a psych ward.
Я столько от него узнала про наших милых соседей.
I've learned so much about our wonderful neighbors from him. She was trying to avoid the subject.
Возьми Полину. Там семейка еще та.
Take Polina. One hell of a
Это же
family.
ее отец сдал бешеную маму в психушку.
Wait. This is some lore. Hold on. Her grandpa was the one who sent Biasha's mom to the loony house. Wait, what?
Харитон?
Keriton.
Он самый. Хотя не скажу, что без оснований.
The man, the legend. Although he had a reason to do
Мама
so.
Бяши слухи распускала. Даже не слухи, а так. Бред несла.
Biasha's mom spread these rumors. They weren't even rumors. just straight up delusions.
Говорила, что люди в поселке одержимы бесами, что дед Харитон черт.
People said that people in the village are possessed, that old Kariton was a demon.
Насинячилась с утра пораньше. Вот черти и мерещится.
She'd always be drunk early in the morning, and that's how she saw demons, I guess.
Когда ее закрыли, Харитон стал присматривать за Бяшей.
When she got locked up, Kariton started looking after Biasha. Hold on, am I getting this correctly? So, Biasha's mom's, the mention said reason though. Biasha's mom spread these rumors. There weren't even rumors, just straight up delusions. She said that people in the village are possessed. That old Kariton was a demon. She would always be drunk early in the morning. That's how she saw demons, I guess. And then she got locked up. When she got locked up, Kariton started looking after Biasha. Correlating Biasha's mom saying Kariton is a demon. That's interesting. I mean, I guess it also makes sense because, like, Biasha's, like, especially scared of the black garage and anything weird around that. So maybe his mom kind of, like, told him some things to spook him even more or something. I don't know. But, like, knowing some of his past or some of the things that we can say that Kariton, from at least some of the theories, it seems like Kariton is definitely somewhat knowledgeable about these creatures, but I'm very curious if the other endings really explain it.
И про папашу Ромки отец рассказывал.
Dad also told me about Romka's deadbeat father. Damn.
Знал, что он проходит терапию как наркозависимый.
Did you know that she was in a drug addiction recovery program?
Да-да-да.
Yes, yes, yes.
Из-за этого и лупит сынка.
That's why he beats his son all the time. Wait, what? Wait, who? Did they make a typo and say she instead of he? Because they mentioned his father, and that's why he beats his son all the time? Is that what I'm getting? Or are we still talking about Biasha's mom?
Не удивлюсь, если Ромка сам скоро встанет в диспансере на учет.
I won't be surprised if Romka walks the same
С
road
такой-то жизнью.
with the kind of life he's leading right now. I didn't enjoy listening to other people's dark secrets. Drug addict, mentally ill woman. It reminded me of the darkness that didn't only reside in the forest or the cobweb corners of the old houses. It's often stored in people's heads too. Awakening something dangerous like demons or dormant monsters.
Что мы все о других? Расскажи о себе.
We've been talking about people for a while. Why don't you tell me about yourself?
А что рассказывать? Ты и так все знаешь.
What is there to tell? You already know everything.
Ничего я не знаю.
I feel like I know nothing.
Ты сказала, папа работал.
You said your dad used to work?
Он уволился?
Did he quit?
Так бывает.
Well, stuff happened. Katya's gaze turned towards the mist floating in the front of us.
Имеешь дело с психами и сам теряешь разум.
When you deal with crazies for long enough, you go mad yourself.
Папка нашел себе молоденькую медсестру и слинял с ней кобель. Ни в чем не нуждалась. И преподавать, и воспитывать меня.
The mom had to really work hard so I could have a nice childhood, both as a teacher and as a parent.
Знаешь, как она меня любит?
Do you know how much she loves me?
Если бы меня не стало, она бы, думаю, руки на себя наложила.
This is a very, like, I don't know what the word you describe kids like these, but, like, for someone to be so, like, mature about some very explicit adult content, it's, like, interesting how well Katya picks it up. If I were gone, I think she killed herself.
Так что ты, считай, двоих спас.
So I actually think, so you actually saved 2 lives there. Okay, all right, you got the little jokes, okay. My mind drew a distinct scene. Kids were waiting for class to start, but instead of their teacher, the principal enters the room. It says that today's lectures class was just canceled. All right, they didn't have to do this. They didn't have to do this. Lilia Pavlovna is dead. She hanged herself. That imagery scene scalded my heart and returned me to that tragic day. The Katya in the meat grinder bowl and her mutilated toes. Well, what about episode 4, buddy? I blinked to fight that illusion and then asked cautiously.
Ты помнишь, как тебя похитили?
Do you remember the moment you were kidnapped? Katya gulped. I chastised myself for talking too much. That was the worst possible question.
В общих чертах.
More or less.
Он подошел сзади, схватил и я, наверное,
Ooh.
потеряла сознание.
came from up from behind and grabbed me, and I probably lost consciousness. Just that story sounded so familiar.
Потому что как иначе это объяснить?
Because what other explanation could there be?
У него было твое лицо, Антон. А потом как взмыл небо. Да-да-да.
He had your face, Anton. Then he just soared into the sky. Interesting. Oh man, dude, this is interesting. What do we make of that? I mean, it could play into Mad World ending for sure. It makes a lot of sense there, but I don't know.
И дальше такая чертовщина началась. Бррр.
Then something really weird started happening. Brr.
И я поняла, что это всего лишь кошмар. Потом, когда очнулась,
Then I realized it was just a nightmare. Then I woke up.
смотрю, он тащит меня по снегу.
Saw him dragging me through the snow.
Я кошелек хвать, бросила на дорогу. Надеялась, кто-то найдет и...
Oh, I grabbed my purse and threw it to the road, and I hoped that someone would find it. And that's the purse thing that we found when we were with Romka. Okay, interesting. But then, didn't that happen in episode 4? I don't think we found the purse in episode 5. So like, am I? Whatever. I don't know. Katya stopped near the only 2 apartment buildings in the village and turned away from me.
Кать,
Katya? She was crying.
Что, Кать?
What?
Я 12 лет, Кать.
I've been Katya for 12
ну
years.
не надо. Все позади.
Stop it. Let's leave all that behind.
А ты знаешь, чего я больше всего испугалась в мясорубке?
Wanna know what was the scariest thing about that meat grinder?
Что умру и не признаюсь тебе.
That I would day before confessing to you.
В чем?
Confessing what? Katya suddenly turned around and I saw how red her face was.
Какой ты кретин, Антон Петров!
You're such a moron, Anton.
В том, что ты мне нравишься.
Confessing that I liked you. I was taken aback, but then I heard my own words as if they were spoken from some faraway place.
Ты мне тоже.
I like you too.
Честно?
Honest?
Честно.
Honest. You lying like boy. You already at her place, bruh. Obviously. I wiped the tears off of her brightening face.
Конечно, нравишься. По-моему, это очевидно.
Of course I like you. I thought it was obvious.
Все вам, парням, очевидно.
Everything is always obvious to you guys.
А девушки хотят слышать. Мы ушами любим, знаешь такое?
But the girls want to hear those things. We love with our ears. Didn't you know? I didn't know a lot of things. Katya's tears glistened. The snow showered the crossroads that presented me with a meaningful choices with different lives. It's interesting that even though this is all of hallucination, I guess they didn't take into account of like what happened in episode 4. I'm still thinking about what she said about like the whole purse thing, but I don't know. I guess I'm to assume that like obviously Mad World is probably like one of the main canon endings of the game. Or at least, I don't know. I felt like that moment was special and I needed to engrave it in our memories.
Разрешишь тебя нарисовать?
Can I draw you? Katya smiled and wiped away her tears.
Только не зареванный.
Just not this messy version.
По рукам.
Deal. She looked at the concrete building.
Здесь я живу.
This is where I live.
Круто. Ты в этом отличилась от всех.
Cool. You were special even in this sense.
Родителям выдали квартиру. Учитель и врач – важные люди в поселке.
Ah, class system. We love class-based society that we live in. My parents were given an apartment, a teacher, and a doctor, the most important people in the village.
Комфорт с видом на мусорную площадку.
Comfort with a trash heap view. Yeah, that's that petty bourgeois. That's that petty bourgeoisism. I choose this trash heap over the forest surrounding our house any day.
Жаль, нет лифта, мучаюсь костылями.
Too bad we don't have an elevator. Crutches are hassle. This happened in the late 90s, right? This game take place?
Не просто добираться на 3-й этаж.
Getting to the third floor is a
Ты
challenge.
позволишь?
Can I? Can I? Mom told me how one day during a date with her future husband, my dad, she twisted her ankle, and Dad carried her 2 blocks with his hands. That was the moment she decided to be together with that man.
Окончательно спятил!
What
Придурок,
the?
я ж тяжелая!
All right, Anton. I mean, obviously, if he's a serial killer, psychopathic murderer, he'd be strong enough to do something. I guess he could be strong enough to carry Katya. Are you mad? I'm heavy, you idiot.
Как пушинка.
Light as a feather.
Смотри, лапы-то свои не распускай,
Ow. Look where you put your hands.
а то маме расскажу.
Or I'll tell Mom. I took her in my hands and carried her toward her apartment. Ugh! Who the hell? Female caretaker munching on a gozni naki. The hell is that? Traditional Gregorian brittle confection made of caramelized nuts, usually walnuts fried in honey. Fried in honey, that's interesting. Her flowery face melted in a smile. Well. What a sight. Just like in a Brazilian drama. Attaboy, good job carrying her.
Люди добрые, поглядите!
Well, you look at that.
А говорят, американское кино молодежь попортила. Есть еще добрые молодцы.
I'm gonna reserve my thoughts about this beautiful lady. And they say those American movies corrupted our youth. There's still decent men out there. I mumbled something awkwardly. Katya turned red as a beet. She was light, but I started staggering from the side to side of the stairs. Crutches she held would hit the railings from time to time with a clanging sound. Katya giggled, embarrassed. She looked like she was trying to carve every little moment of that ascent into her memory. I tried my best to keep myself from hudding and keep my back straight. Encouraging shouts pushed me in the back.
Настоящий кавалер! Женись на нем, Катька, как подрастешь!
Oh my god, bro. Go finish your Goznaki, whatever the Gozi Naki. True gentleman, marry him when you grow up, Katya. Katya burst out laughing.
Обязательно!
Of course. I carefully placed Katya on the concrete floor near her apartment door. She opened it, glancing over her shoulder, biting her lower lip.
Спасибо, силач.
Thank you, Mr. Strongman.
Проходи, я пока перебинтую ногу. Пришлось научиться самой.
Come on in, and I'll bandage my foot in the meantime. Had to learn how to do it myself. She disappeared behind the bathroom door and I entered her tiny room. Oh, we're in the room, boys, ladies and gentles and they-thems. The blizzard that whistled its tune outside made the warm bed feel even comfortier. I remember the apartment we used to live in back in the city. I always had the smell of pastry and the music of my parents' laughter. I still felt equally safe here. All right, guys, you know what to do. Let's do the save thing. All right, what can we examine here? What is this? It's all sorts of participation medals for kids and youth, rhythmic gymnastics competitions. I had no idea she was into sports. I guess she does seem like the preppy kid that like gets into sports and stuff like that. Katya had accomplished a lot before she ended up in the black garage. What is this? Authentic Japanese cassette player. Oh, she a weeaboo? And some sports inventory nearby. I can imagine her practicing to music here. Cassette player. What if I keep playing it? Will it play music? Alright. Never mind. Fish tank. Okay. Fish are pretty low maintenance pets. An ideal variant for those who don't spend much time at home. Katya missed classes from time to time, and nobody saw her in the village for multiple days.
Можно покормить твоих рыбок?
Can I feed your fish?
Только чуть-чуть.
Just don't overdo it.
Если корм загниет, они умрут.
If their feed goes bad, it might kill them. Okay, can I actually f this up or no? Just regularly feed them. All right. Get your multivitamins, fishies. Okay. Is there anything else we can observe here? No? Okay, that was it. Let's see, the mirror. Katya probably does makeup and admires herself here. She has more makeup than my mom. Damn. Put your mom on blast? Why does a kid have makeup on? Again, bourgeois society. Bourgeois. What the hell is that music? I'm not good with that dolls. I'm not good with dolls, but this thing must be expensive. Leah Pavlovna spoiled her only daughter. Still, why were there plastic ladies drinking tea? And why was Ken's head removed? It's kids, bruh. You know how that be, bruh? Alright, I think we're good. Examine. Kaya stood on her tippy toes with her other hand gracefully pulled back and stripes wavering above her head. Her movements looked so graceful and smooth. Why do I feel so sad looking at this photo? I got so lost in thought that I didn't even hear the rubber tips of the crutches thumping on the floor. I saw Katya reflected in the frame and turned around. She gave the room's interior look over and sighed.
До сих пор не верю, что все это позади.
I still can't believe all of that is in the past now.
Мама всю жизнь грезила о спортивной карьере и вбила себе в голову, что я обязана воплотить ее мечту.
My mom always had dreams about a sports career, and so she convinced herself I must make that a dream reality. Is that what you really wanted to do, though?
Мне так жаль.
I'm so sorry.
Все эти медали, фотки. Как ты будешь жить без гимнастики?
All these medals, photos. How will you leave without the gymnastics?
Уж точно не пойду в паралимпийскую сборную.
I'm definitely not becoming a Paralympian. Katya smiled all of a sudden.
Антон, меня тошнило от гимнастики.
I was always sick of gymnastics.
Стань так, стань эдак. Что за чушь?
Damn, you even cuss? Okay, hold on. Stand like this, stand like that. What's up with that bull?
Единственная хорошая вещь, которая случилась за последнее
What's their age
время?
again? I keep thinking that they're like younger than 14. So this is the only good thing that come out of this latest events.
Я не обязана больше мотаться по соревнованиям.
I no longer need to go to all the competitions.
Да-да-да.
Yes, yes, yes.
Теперь я делаю то, что мне вздумается.
Now I just do whatever I want.
Кто пуп земли? Катя пуп земли.
Who's on top of the world? Katya's on top of the world. She's feeling herself, bro. Do you self-glaze every day? Is that like the daily dose that you need to take, a self-glazing? She burst out laughing as if to show it was all of a joke. But there was always a grain of truth in any
Что-то я не
joke.
замечал, чтобы тебя в чем-то ограничивали.
I wouldn't have thought you were limited in any way looking at you.
Это что? Критика?
Are you criticizing
Ты
me?
считаешь меня избалованной?
Do you think I'm spoiled? Yes. What do you think? Katya playfully raised her crutch.
Поговори мне тут, Петров.
I gotta eat dirt sandwiches when I'm hungry. You get McDonald's DoorDash to you. Come on, bro. Don't talk to me. Know your place, Petrov.
И вообще, хватит прохлаждаться. Ты поможешь мне с ужином или как?
You know how to cook? Hold on. And stop being a lazy bones. Will you help me with the dinner or not?
Попытаюсь.
I'll try. What? Katya led me to the kitchen, opened the drawer and frozen place. Peer inside with caution.
Что там? Мыши завелись?
What, do you have a mice in there? She shook her head anxious.
Достань. Пожалуйста.
What? Take it out, please. I approached her and looked into the drawer. Ah, I see. So she's kind of like, she's getting like traumatic responses. At the meat grinder lurking among the kitchenwares.
Конечно.
Right. Hey man, I'll do what I gotta do, know what I'm saying? I took it out as feeling as if a cube of ice was lodged under my heart. I squirmed when I saw the blade screwed to the roilers inside its bowl. I told myself the old cast iron thing had nothing in common with the industrial behemoth from the garage. Katya went all silent, watching me pale as a ghost.
Не могу заставить себя крутить фарш.
Handle mincing the meat.
Плохо становится.
I immediately feel sick.
Предоставь это мне.
Leave that to me. While I was mounting the meat grinder to the table, Katya jingled with the dishes and slammed the refrigerator doors. Why do we need to mince the meat? What are we cooking? She pulled out meat, onions, breadcrumbs. Are we making meatloaf? Ugh. Reanimated, she cut the vegetables for the salad. I thought meatloaf was something that kids didn't want to eat. You are willingly making this? Did your mama tell you gotta make this? I threw the ingredients into the meat grinder and got to work.
Береги пальчики.
Look at these dumbasses. They ain't even wash their hands. Careful with your fingers. The groved rod spun, following the handle, pushing the bits of pork into its blades. The finished minced meat squeezed through the grate.
Тщательнее перемалывай мясо.
Grind it more meticulously.
Не бойся, эта мясорубка никогда не сломается.
Don't worry, this meat grinder will never break. I winced after remembering the blades, covered in human blood. I remember Katya's toe swinging on a piece. Alright, bro. I sneaked a pill onto my tongue and chewed on it. You can't just be chewing this shit down like it's gummy bears. So this time we don't even have the option to pick. They just forced that shit down my throat. The medication calmed me down. The fear retreated into its dark layer.
Мы с тобой как странная семейка.
We're like a crazy family.
Дорогой, что на ужин?
Darling, what's for dinner? I played along.
Котлетки, дорогая.
Cutlets, honey.
Я ела бы их 3 раза в день, дорогой.
I could eat them 3 times a day,
У
darling.
меня для тебя хорошая новость. Котлеток хватит до следующей зимы.
I have good news for you. We have enough cutlets to last until next winter. Oh, wow, that was funny. That was really great jokes. All right. What the fuck? Yo!
Рита подрумянилась корочка.
Bro, give me some time, bro. You just threw me into this game sequence. Hold on. We got the Zelda music. Hold on, I can't lose. I can't be Oh, fuck.
Думаю, что они должны быть настолько черными.
Первый раз так хорошо получилось.
I don't think it matters if we get this correctly. It's the first time they will turn out to be this good. Why are we assuming Anton knows how to cook all of a sudden? Does he? Or is like Katya just helping him? I got it.
Как в ресторане, скажи.
Just like in a restaurant, right? Bro, you cook the same damn thing. What the fuck are we cooking? Is this fries and meat?
Выходит, не хуже, чем у мамы.
It's on par with my mom's cooking. You ain't even taste it yet. Katya took in the appetizing aroma. This is an interesting shot.
Слюнки текут.
Mouth-watering.
Но такого жениха любая с руками оторвет.
Many would kill to have a groom like you. Whoa, what the f? Katya stumbled and swayed over the stove. I had to hold her by the waist to keep her balance. Both moves.
Руки отрывать не будем. Ты меня крепче держи, пока я дегустирую.
No, I'd rather you don't get killed. I'll need you to hold me like that all the time.
Наконец-то то, о чем я мечтала, убивая себя тренировками.
Finally, the life I've dreamed of when I was killing myself with all the training.
Можно лопать вкусняшки и не думать о дурацких диетах.
I could eat tasty stuff without thinking of stupid diets.
Жареная картошечка с котлетками да на масле.
Look, we need to stop. Look, I'm gonna stop the episode right now. We need to stop this diet propaganda. Diets can also have a little bit of unhealthy foods or bad foods, quote unquote bad foods. It just can't be excessive, okay? You gotta think about your caloric deficit. You gotta think about excessive sodium, sugar. You gotta think about life, honey boo boo. Fried potatoes with cutlets made with natural oil.
Хочешь кусочек?
Want a bite? I kind of burnt the last one. Katya held out a cutlet and stuck on a fork and flashed me with an alluring smile. Yeah, they get really, like these are, I forget, aren't they 14 or 12, bro? Like, why are they so handsy, bro? Why we gotta get them to be so handsy? Before I could even notice, I was already eating it off her hands, smiling like a fool. The cutlets were wonderful, fluffy and soft. When the dishes were empty, I asked,
Добавки?
Seconds?
Кать, все хорошо?
Is everything all right, Katya? She was silent, her fingers massaging her temple.
Не надо было тебе перетруждаться.
You shouldn't have overexerted yourself like that.
Просто немного...
I'm just... She breathed in through her clenched teeth.
Голова кружится.
A little dizzy.
Можешь проверить, у меня нет температуры?
Can you check if I have a fever? I reached out with my hands.
Нет. Попробуй лоб губами. Мама так всегда делает.
Alright, bro. No, touch my forehead with your lips. Mom always does that. Bro, And even if I did, just because you have a warm forehead, a hot forehead, does not mean you have a fever. You have to actually check it with the thermometer or whatever. I had the unpleasant feeling that Katya was toying with me
А
again.
градусника у тебя нет?
Don't you have a thermometer?
Ну ладно.
Whatever. I leaned in and gave Katya's forehead a quick peck.
Вроде не горячий.
It's not hot.
Доведи до постели, пожалуйста.
Please lead me to my bed. Alright, brother. Alright, bro. Y'all are children. I don't want to see this. I helped Katya get to the bedroom and she quickly crawled under the
Полежи
blanket.
со мной.
Lie down with me. I was embarrassed beyond what I could handle.
Это как-то чересчур.
This is a little too much.
Чересчур составить подружке компанию.
Keeping your friend company is too much for you?
Мама скоро вернется и заменит тебя. Полежи, пока я не усну.
Y'all ain't even finished the food, or I guess you gotta wait until dinner? Mom will come soon. Take your place. Lie with me until I fall asleep. Ugh, you gonna fall off the damn bed or the couch. This is a kind of a big ass couch, huh? She looked at me with pleading eyes and I nodded and joined her. Katya stretched to turn off the night lamp. We lay in the darkness listening to the howling wind. Katya's fingers slid across my hands, our pinkies intertwined. We didn't need words, but Katya still opened her
Ты
mouth.
мне правда очень нравишься.
I really like you.
Скажи,
It's the
если это
delusions.
взаимно.
Oh man, I don't know what's gonna happen if I say no. if I reject, because I feel like they're gonna prop to show the pills and Oya again. If this is like similar to Paulina's route, they're gonna do that, and I don't even want to know what this is gonna happen. If it's mutual, tell me. I licked my parched lips. Did you hear something? I ain't hear nothing. Bro, Oya, shut up, bro. This is why you're annoying. Anton. I heard a voice coming from the corner. All right, guys, y'all ready? Fun time with Kaya is over. Let's get to it. I turned around incredulous. There was a kid's silhouette lurking in the darkness. A tiny ghost that came from my soul.
Кать,
Katya.
Да,
Yes?
там кто-то есть.
There's someone there.
это лишь тень от моих наград, глупый.
That's just a shadow from my awards, silly. Uh-oh. Anton, please wake up. I turned away from my silhouette, and my pinky finger squeezed Katya's even harder.
Кать, я хочу признаться.
Katya, I have something to confess.
Я не нравлюсь тебе.
You don't like me?
Дело не в этом. Иногда у меня бывают
Ooh, it's gonna be
галлюцинации.
the same situation. No, not that. Sometimes I have hallucinations.
Доктор говорит, я вырасту, и это пройдет. Я принимаю лекарства.
All right. I'm trying to make sure I'm doing this all correctly. Let me see. Yeah, so we're doing it correctly. So we can't take the pills on this one. The doctor says that they will pass when I grow up. I'm taking the medication.
Ты меня этим не напугаешь. Забыл?
That won't scare me. Have you
Мой
forgotten?
так называемый папашка – психиатр.
My so-called father is a psychiatrist.
Выпей таблетку, и все будет нормально.
Just take your meds and everything will be fine.
Да-да-да.
Da. Uh-oh. Anton, please listen to me. I took the pills out of my pocket. All right, y'all. I'm not ready. No. All right, let's go.
Я и так принял их слишком
I've
много.
taken too many. Yeah, you literally popped it earlier, bro.
Хватит. Не хочу умереть от передозировки.
Enough is enough. I don't want to die from an overdose.
Кать,
What? Katya? I heard stifled cries from coming from my
Катюш,
side.
что случилось?
Katya, dear, what happened? Something smacked silently in the pitch dark room. The sound of a band-aid being torn off. Oh, shit. I felt one of my socks quickly soaking in something sticky. My shaking hand felt around, searching for the light switch. The night lamp flared up. The red spots were spread across the blanket. I backed away to the wall.
Кать, у тебя рана
Holy
открылась.
shit. Katya, your wound is reopened. In a panic, I threw off the blanket. I was ready to see the band-aid soaked with blood, but I wasn't ready to see what was really happening. Katya's letter was missing up to her knee. What the? Fat, dirty rats right in the Scarlet pool. They devoured Katya. Their greedy mugs burrowed into the bubbling meat of the leg stump. Ugh. The biggest rat was trying to suck me out like the marrow from the white shard among the mess. Katya squealed. Katya suddenly sat up, her pale face directed at me. Her veins bulged under her skin. Her eyes rolled over. You! She growled like as if she crumpled the bed sheets. I do not like this look of her. Why do you? Alright, whatever. Whatever, bro. Whatever, bro. It's all your fault. Excuse me? It's not my fault, it's yours. Katya twitched and I realized what was happening. Her body was sinking between the sofa's two halves. I heard a roaring motor whirring somewhere in the sheet compartment deep inside the sofa. Going somewhere? Hatred and pain disfigured Katya's face and made it unrecognizable. Sofa's flaps lifted, its legs tore off the roof. Okay, similar situation. Nobody's waiting for you. You're weak, nasty. Nobody wants you. Thick black blood flowed out of Katya's mouth along with the words. Katya was descending into the meat grinder, dangling like a cloth dog. I heard crackling of bones and stifled cries of a child. Come to your senses, wake up. Yeah, this is when we're gonna wake up. The sofa devoured Katya's up to her waist. She floundered, spewing blood and curses. Don't you dare turn around. Look what we've done, weakling. Fountain of blood hit the ceiling and my face. The furniture melted. Upholstering peeled off the sofa, bearing its cast iron sides. Oh, shit. The metal walls peeked from under the wallpaper. The bedroom was turning into the black rush. I didn't escape it. I would never be able to leave it. Yo! The meat grinder completely devoured Katya. Minced meat flooded the tray, but yo. Oh! The torn off face floated up in the bloody soup. Y'all, Psychono, y'all didn't have to do that. His white lips twitched. Katya remains talk to me. Alright, sure. I screamed and ran from that nightmare. The wind howled and opened the doors.
Bruh.
Get your goofy ass out of my face. This pulled up like,
Hey, we still going to McDonald's?
like, no, bitch, we are not going to McDonald's. I am not your friend. Why did you pull up like we homies? Oh, brother bear. Get away from me. His scowl reminded me of a puss oozing skull. Where's your niggas? Where's your wolf homies? We're outcasts because of the likes of you. The whole pack already bit in the moon. I'm assuming they're referencing the wolves. I wonder if this correlates to the Coma escapee ending where they mentioned the wolves were still eating people. And we know that, like, if we accept the delusions, we start killing people or something like. I don't know. I'm trying to theorize right now. All right, no. But you had to be special. Your meat will dissolve in stomach acid. Your soul will be claimed by the forest. Your name will be forgotten. The monster's cold hands fell on my shoulders. Its claws pierced my muscles. The giant tore me off the ground and shoved me head first into the funnel. Can you shut up, bro? Shut up. That's a terrible nightmare, bro. Yo. Terrible nightmare to happen to a kid, bro. My wrist fell into the tray. The next moment, my blades cut off my arms up to my elbows. Blood gushed out of my stumps. Bro, wake up, bro. Wake up. The blades drew closer. I felt the steel eating my face. The last sounds I heard were Olya's deafening scream. I whizzed and opened my eyes. Olya's scream stopped, but it still echoed into my skull. The pain was gone. The disgusting bunny, the blades, the blood, all of that disappeared. I transported back from the black garage to the hallway. Was that all just a dream? I moved my intact hands. Not only the garage, but also the last month. The wounded Katya, the escape from the serial killer. Was that all the product of my delusional brain? I guess the game was telling us. Okay. Alright, so this is generally the same thing, I would assume. Oh, what happened? Let's see. We actually talked to Kodo? What the f? Okay, I clutched the phone. Let's see. Speaker was silent first. Very audible beeps came through. Spun the dime. Oh, so we called Roma.
Рома, это я! Алло!
Hello? Couldn't hear me. I shouted in desperation.
Рома!
Frequent beeps in reply. I guess if we have the policeman's number, it makes sense. The anxious rustle arose as if the house was thrown into the forest, and its piney paws felt around the interior, trying to find a way to open the meat lockbox. I dialed Polina's number. The phone vibrated with beeps as short as my breath. With a note of Tikhobno's number that I hid earlier came in handy. The dial creaked, measuring the numbers. I tore the cord around my hand and prayed that the policeman was at his station.
Старший лейтенант Тихонов слушает.
His voice battled its way to me through nature's wrath. It flowed down the icy wires.
Это Антон! Антон Петров!
Молодое дарование. Помню такого.
Правда?
Really?
А то.
Of course.
Мы ж благодаря тебе задержали подозреваемого в похищениях.
Oh, they managed to detain it. Okay, detain him. My face elongated from surprise.
Задержали? Когда?
You detained him when?
Сегодня днем.
This afternoon.
Шастал голубчик неподалеку от кладбища, как заправский маньяк.
Chap wandered about the near the cemetery, just like a serial killer.
А главное, точная копия твоего фоторобота. Безбровый, зайчий губой. Выясняем, кто он и откуда.
My heart sank. So I put the police on the wrong trail when I drew that while he's being interrogated, the real killers creep closer and closer to our house.
Вдруг это не он?
What if it's not him?
Он родимый.
No, it's definitely him.
Пистолет при нем был с глушителем. Еще мясницкий тесак, да строительный скотч.
He had a silence gun on him, along with a butcher knife and a bunch of duct tape. Interesting. Okay.
Прям все как по учебнику.
Just like in the textbooks. How could it be? I thought in amazement, but the words blurted out were different.
Товарищ милиционер, мои родители пропали.
Sir, my parents went missing.
Вы обязаны приехать и забрать меня с сестрой в участок.
You must come here and take my sister and me to the station.
Нам угрожает опасность.
We're in danger here.
Слушай, пацан, в данный момент опасность сидит за решеткой.
Listen, lad, the danger you speak of is currently behind bars.
Я ее сам скрутил мордой в пол.
I personally shoved its face in the dirt.
Но я видел.
But I saw... Can't explain that. How a giant insect crawled out of the dog carcass. How Katya was ground up by giant blades.
Видел что?
What did you see?
Чудовищ в звериных масках.
Monsters is animal mask.
Приезжайте, умоляю вас.
Come, I beg you. A long pause
Да ты
followed.
вообще представляешь, сколько мне бумажной волокиты предстоит?
Do you have any idea how much paperwork I'm gonna need to fill out now? Bro, you're supposed to help me. Do your damn job and get over here.
Задержание от тебя не хухры-мухры. А у меня всего 2 сотрудника, да и те еле на ногах держатся.
So you mean to tell me the precinct is just filled with no people? Lazy bums? Making arrests is an ordeal, a procedure, and I only have 2 people under me. And even they are barely holding up by
К
now.
тому же урод этот пока ни в чем не сознался.
Besides, this bastard hasn't even given us a confession
Понимаешь,
yet.
что от его признания зависит жизнь похищенных детей?
Do you understand that the lives of those missing kids hinge on him confessing? The blood pulsating in my temples stunned me, made me blind. A scarlet flash of hysteria lighted up in my brain. Convince him or die. I went all in, fully aware that my and Olya's lives were at stake here.
Помните, вы рассказывали о своем племяннике, который хотел пойти в школу милиции и помогать людям?
I'm not reading that.
Помню. А
Right.
еще я помню, как просил тебя не совать нос куда не следует.
Some fucking protector of the people.
Мне хотелось помочь вам в поимке преступника, но теперь... Кажется, я знаю, что случилось с пропавшими детьми.
I think I know what happened to the missing kids. I was afraid that the lieutenant wouldn't let me finish, but he just remained silent in anticipation. The wind pulled the wires.
Сенечка, Вова, Семен, Катя. Они все мертвы.
They're all dead.
Откуда такая уверенность? У тебя есть чем подтвердить свои слова?
Первой была Сенечка, так?
Yeah.
У меня есть запись на видеокассете.
Oh, yeah, you do. You do have the video cassette.
Не знаю, что за передача и что за канал, но там репортаж о ней.
It's a report about her.
И о монстре, названном хозяином
A
леса.
monster called the Force Master.
Не может быть. Это передача.
Why are you talking like you know about it? What the hell? When it seemed like the pause was unnecessarily long, the lieutenant finally
Я
spoke up.
тоже ее видел.
I saw it too.
У меня тогда был сложный период. Ребенок этот пропал. У самих ни единой зацепки. Еще начальство вконец озверело. Вот я и пил, не просыхая.
Okay, that's fair.
А когда ночью поймал сигнал с той чертовой передачей про Сеню, думал, белая горячка пожаловала.
I thought it was just the result of alcohol-induced delirium.
Сука, я даже в область катался телевизионщиков пытать. Они мне отворот-поворот, мол, не было такого в эфире.
Suka, I even went to the city to interrogate the TV station, but they told me they never aired anything like
А
that.
ты говоришь, ее записал?
So are we saying are we? This is interesting. I'm curious on this ending now. Hold on. Let's save our thoughts for the end. So you're saying you have recorded it?
Даже больше.
And that's not all.
В лесу, где заблудился Вова, я нашел варежку.
Found a mitt in the forest where Vova went missing.
И я клянусь вам, она кровоточила, пока я не принес ее домой.
I swear blood was pouring out of it until I brought it home.
Ряд добровольцев из поисковых команд давали такие же показания.
Okay.
Мы тогда подумали, что у них помешательство, и отстранили от поисков.
Wait, what? Okay. I'm thinking.
Но ведь я сам осматривал найденные вещи, и крови на них не было.
Besides, I examined all of the found items myself. There wasn't a spot of blood on them.
Черт-те что. Говоришь, варежка у тебя?
What the hell is going on? You have the mitten on you, right?
Да, и печатка Семена.
Yes, along with Semyon's signet ring.
Так вот, куда она делась.
So that's
Ты
where it went.
осознаешь, Антон, что похитил улику?
I'll deal with the consequences later, brother. Do you realize you stole critical evidence, Anton?
Приезжайте, арестуйте меня!
Damn! They come here and arrest me. My voice rang out.
И это еще не все.
And even that's not all.
У меня хранится фотография с останками Кати.
I have a photo with Katya's remains.
Четвертой жертвой этих тварей.
Ooh, she was the 4th victim of those creatures.
Поймите, наконец, спасти детей вам уже не удастся.
Just admit it, you're not saving those kids.
Они все мертвы, мертвы!
They're all dead.
Хотите, чтобы мы с сестрой пополнили список?
Do you want me and my sister to be added to that list? I noticed that I was shouting. Sweat appeared on my forehead. I only got a hissing as a reply.
Алло! Алло!
Aloha! Aloha! What? Oh, he didn't like that. So you're ratting to the ops, huh? You're ratting to the cops, huh?
No, we gonna eat them. We gonna get you as a sacrificial meat, boy.
It's like, God damn, Forest Master.
Мертвые к мертвому.
Ashes to
К
ashes.
живому.
Dust, dust. I started whispering the useless chant, but stopped midway. See, let's see. Is it the same thing as usual? Because I'm looking at it. It says that open the door in front of guests. Interesting. Guests. What does that mean? So this is the same board up. So what happened? We cleaned up the remains, right? Shut up. Dumb no. I sat on the stairs and fixed my gaze on the front door, with the axe on my lap, with the heart beating so far. Oh, there's people! Were they wearing masks? Probably not. I have an equal chance of getting help from these night guests or being torn to pieces right in the hallway. Let them in, don't let them in. Let's see. Alright, so we're supposed to let them in. A heightened my senses told me that whoever was outside wasn't an enemy. I'm assuming it has to be Polina and Romka, since they were together, and Polina was there in the other ending. I clenched my jaw until it hurt, ready to hack at the rotting moss. I then spun the lock. Now look at these idiots. The two hunched figures tumbled into the open door. The two people hopped on the spot from the freezing cold outside. Snow fell from their clothes and shoes, teeth shattered.
Дрова колешь? У вас камин есть?
Were you chopping firewood? Do you have a fireplace? I lowered the axe and rushed to hug my friends.
Эй, задушишь! Чё на тебя нашло?
Hey, you're gonna suffocate me. What's wrong with you, dude? Plus, if you hug me, I might be gay. And I'm very homophobic. This is a homophobic society.
Как вы здесь оказались?
How did you end up here? I was happy like a death row convict who got their execution delayed.
Сбежали из дома.
We ran away from home.
Надеялись, метель утихнет, а она только сильнее разыгралась.
We hoped the blizzard would die down, but it only got
Еле
worse.
дошли к тебе.
We barely made it to your place.
А ты чего устроил?
What's with all this? Roma stared at the kitchen door.
С окнами?
The windows.
Ветер разбивал стекла, ну, я и укрепил.
The wind was crashing them, so I reinforced them.
Надо же.
Wow.
Я думала, раз ты человек творческий, то руками работать не умеешь.
I thought that since you're a man of art, you're not that good at physical labor. That's so stupid. That's so stupid. I looked down in embarrassment and Rumka slapped my shoulder.
Наш Антон все умеет.
Only now did I notice the puffed up bags on the back of my friends. And I realized what ran away from home really meant.
Так вы насовсем?
So you're not coming
Ага,
back?
с концами.
Never.
Я кое-какие шмотки загнал, чтоб на плацкарт до губернии хватило.
Dumbass kids. I pawned some of my stuff to get enough cash to take us to the city.
А там у меня дядька кабак держит, обещал пристроить.
My uncle owns a bar there. He'll give us a corner for the time being.
Так что вся на мази.
So we're okay.
Я из города дедушке позвоню, все ему объясню.
Once we get there, I'll call Grandpa and explain everything to him.
Оставаться здесь уже невыносимо.
So you're running away, maid. Running away from the problem, huh? We can't stay here anymore.
Разве ты не понимаешь?
Don't you get it? I could see that Polina was afraid of the future, but I also saw genuine happiness in her eyes. I wanted to draw her like this in the frozen in time on this doorstep. Between her old life, she was throwing herself into the ocean of the unknown, disappearing in it. This is the last time I see both of them. They're going to leave and grow up together. I'll stay here in the house with barred windows to the precipice between the world and the edge of the ancient forest.
Мы попрощаться пришли.
We came to say goodbye. So you're leaving in the blizzard, you dumbass?
Слышь, а родаки твои где?
Yo, where are your old people? He frowned, his gaze wandering between the axe and the dark staircase.
Что вообще происходит?
What the f is going on here? I leaned against the railing. I wanted to share things that weighed on me, pushed me to the ground so badly.
Оля заболела.
Oh, you got sick.
Папа за врачом поехал, а мама в аптеку.
Dad went to get to the doctor, and Mom went to buy medicine.
Давно, часов 6 назад.
A long time ago, 6 hours already.
6 часов? А ты звонил в милицию?
Yes, we did.
Ага.
Yeah.
Сказали, что мама с папой скоро приедут. Сказали, дороги замело.
What he said? What he said?
Я ждал, а потом задремал на ступеньках, и ночь наступила.
Yeah, what he said. I'm tired of reading, so yeah, what he said.
А тут вы.
And then you guys came. The fleeting idyllic moment was interrupted by Oya's strained voice.
Они уже здесь. Прогони их. Тоша, пожалуйста.
Uh-oh.
Там на полу твоя сестра?
Is that your sister on the floor?
Да, ей не здоровится.
Yeah, she's not feeling well. You're bad. Go away. Oya's mind was ravaged by fever, infesting her mind with horrific visions that would make blood freeze in one's veins.
Ты нам чего-то не договариваешь.
You're not telling us the whole truth. You're not telling me your whole truths with your deadbeat father who beats you. Romka studied me with a watchful stare. He'd been in the garage himself, so he knew a lot, but not everything.
Мне кажется, зря вы пришли этой ночью.
I think you picked a bad night to come here.
Мы в опасности.
We're in danger.
Кто-то ходит снаружи.
Someone snooping about outside.
Ищет, как бы попасть в дом.
Looking for a way to get in. Polina covered her mouth with her hand.
Маньяк!
Is that the serial killer?
Если бы.
I wish. A deafening thud could be heard from outside.
Мамочки!
Oh no.
Тише ты. Это же просто ветер, так?
Scared as hell. Pipe down, it's just the wind, okay? It might have been a lamplight that was uprooted under the blizzard's pressure. Romka dropped off the backpack and Polina followed suit.
Нас трое. Мы вооружены. Да и окна заколочены. Здесь мы в безопасности.
Yeah, we're totally safe. Or, yeah. Then the lights went out. The fridge rattled as it shut down. Darkness splashed from all the nooks and crannies, devouring Romka and Polina. I blinked like crazy, clutching the handrails. The blizzard moans intensified.
Твою же...
What the... He clicked with the lighter, but the lighter spewed sparks, leaving a metallic smell on Romka's fingers, but it didn't produce a flame.
Ребята!
Can you hear that? So they hear the flute.
Звук флейты.
Yep. They want meat! They want meat! I backed into the wall for surprise. I held strikes, unleashed the door, bending it like a thin sheet of plywood. It's them!
Они?
Them! The door danced in the doorway, dust flew from the plat pans. Romka's eyes popped out. Polina shrieked hysterically with her face buried in her palms. Okay, we got Grandma coming back to haunt our mind. Alright, well, we only have, since we didn't do the Polina route, we only have the cross, so let's take that motherfucker. Grab the cross without thinking. I was ready to ask God for help. If only you knew the truth there, I thought it. Alright, here we go. We want to... Beast hoot. We want to... I'm plugging my ears with my fingers. Nasty voice subsided, only could be replaced with another sneering voice.
Ты должен.
Okay. Oh shit.
Никто меня не видит. Значит, самое время вы...
So with this one... Alright, so we gotta give the dog meat.
Стойте! Сейчас!
Wait up, I'll be right back. I needed buy time. I needed to save not only my little sister, but also my friends. I flung open the freezer and dug out the frosty, blood-stained sack.
Тоха, ты куда?
Where are you going, Toha?
Не приближайся.
Stay away.
Береги Полину и Олю.
Guard Polina and Oya. My tone of voice, commanding, firm, surprised me. I guess I was more like my father than I
У
expected.
меня есть угощение!
I have a treat for you. I screamed, clutching the remains of the parasite that made its home inside of Zoko. The house wobbled like a bad tooth. The base of the house screeched. The draft hit my
Я
face.
покормлю вас, обещаю!
I'll feed you, I promise.
Оставьте нас в покое!
Just leave us alone. The blizzard purred like a cat. You mean to tell me, even in this route, they didn't hear those monster creatures? They only heard the flute? Okay. Raka, before you could realize what was going on, I opened the front door. Couldn't see anything because of the blizzard, but I knew. Black, barely discernible silhouettes stood in the snowy field a couple of steps away from me. They stood there patiently waiting for me to throw them the promised tree. I threw the dog meat into the wind, shut the door, and ran toward the window. They were like, "This is all you gave us? Hey, eat up. Don't be ungrateful." The carnivorous shadows lunged at the remains of their own kin, tore the cloth, and bit into the meat. They tore and swallowed, raising their heads toward the dark sky. Feast all you want. But it wasn't enough for them. Oh, ungrateful ass. These have been eating too much whole foods. The bear was the first to jump away from the feast. He fell on one side and started dangling his legs. It would have looked funny if his movements weren't as scary. Nasty! Chewed up sludge dripped through his maw. Rotten. Wow. Not tasty. Not tasty at all. What if we just threw a rock or like shot this in the head? And where's the wolf and Elisa? They pleaded and howled, dragged their bellies on the snow and around the carcass. The bear, standing on all fours, started burying the meat in the snow. Oh my god, not this death stare. I almost screamed when multiple pairs of burning eyes turned toward me. The beast rushed to the barricades and I jumped back to my friends. The claws slashed at the wood and pulled on the planks, but the pieces of the broken furniture held firm.
Что им надо?
What do they want? So they can't see the beasts.
Им нужен я.
Me.
Оля. Каждый из нас.
All of us. The paws invaded the house and slapped on the walls. Saliva splashed everywhere. The jaws clicked. The boards held firm. Maybe this is still an illusion though. All in Anton's head. Making the monsters let out frenzied wars. We want to eat. We'll eat it roasted. Tiny light flashed between the boards. The hunch of what was about to happen pinned me to the floor, but Polina was the first to voice it. Yeah. Oh, brother. Look at him at work, blowing that flute.
Стойте здесь.
Stay here. I acted as quickly as I could. I felt like someone more determined and agile was more dormant in me all this time. Maybe it's Elisa, I don't know. I put the axe down and retrieved oil from the blanket cocoon. Still squinted, still half asleep. Is it them? Those bad animals?
Не бойся, все хорошо.
Don't worry, everything's fine.
Они не тронут нас.
They won't lay a finger on us.
Еще как тронут.
They will.
Пожалуйста, не думай об этом.
Please don't think about it. When I covered oil with the coat and the air became hot, almost scorching. What should I think about them then? The burning wood crackled. The smell of ashes scorched my lungs. I wiped away the sweat from my face with my shoulder. The smoke was already snaking its way towards our feet on the floor. We needed to hurry, but I couldn't succumb to the panic in front of my little
Помнишь,
sister.
как мы отдыхали на даче?
Remember how we hung out in Dacha?
Помнишь, каким был крыжовник?
Remember what gooseberries were like?
Кис,
Sour. Our face shrank.
Вода в колодце.
And the water in the well.
холодный.
Cold. But they didn't let me drink it. Something cracked and fell with a thud on the other side of the wall. Shadows flashed in the gaps. The beasts were dancing in the burial roundelay. My fingers clutched the axe handle, a pitiful defense against those who came from the below.
Быстрее!
Hurry up!
Крыша вот-вот
The ceiling's about to
обвалится!
collapse.
А малину помнишь?
Do you remember raspberries? I do.
Я тогда про малину думать буду.
I'll think about them then.
Думай и не оборачивайся.
Think about it and don't look around. I held the weakened Oya to my chest, clutching the axe in my right hand. The smoke assaulted my eyes. I eddied on the first floor, rancid and stinky. I can't breathe. We're going to suffocate. Oya went to the coughing fit and looked at Polina and Rumka. Are you Tosha's friends?
Где ваши маски?
Where are your masks?
Что здесь есть черный ход?
Do you have a back door here?
Есть! За мной!
We do. Follow me. I kicked open the door and swung the axe at the empty air and just in case. The porch was empty. Still, we could only see 20 feet in front of us, and the wall of snow blocked out everything past that point.
Не отставайте!
Keep up! We ran like never before. The yellow glow illuminated the door road. The flame snuck up into the empty house. A suited glass cracked and sprayed from the windows. Oya could barely move her legs. Sometimes I picked her up and carried her in my arms with her boots dangling in the air. Despite even that, Polina still couldn't catch up to us. It was even louder outside. We didn't look back, but I had a good idea how our house turned into the huge fire. How the fire devoured my paintings, my VHS tapes, the furniture, our clothes. The flames roared in a choir with the freezing wind. Sparks flew into the sky. Something huge flew past us in a blizzard. A sudden gust of wind tore off the hat of Oya's head and carried it into the hungry darkness, but I didn't dare look back. We jumped over the fallen post. It felt like dozens of hornets and stung my cheeks. The frost ravaged my skin. My lungs were on the verge of bursting. I slowed down to catch my breath, and in that moment, Oya fell to the ground. Her hand slipped out of mine. Then Polina shrieked. Oh, I see. Okay, guys, I know what's about to happen. Oh, the girls were floundering in the snow like it was mire. What the f happened to Rumka? The field was on the side of the monsters. Polina sank up to her waist, Oya up to her shoulders. With every new push, they were only sinking more. I froze in place, devoured by fear, watching the ugly, horrific beggars turn around and sing. Then immediately rushed at us with all their might. Holy. With their limbs digging into the snow. I saw their hungry maws devoured crooked stumps, molehills, and the prints we left in the snow. The moment of weakness and the endless night would lock us into the deadly embrace forever. Get up! You got legs! It didn't fall off! Oh my god. These monsters can clearly catch up and eat us all right now. Alright, well, let's do a save. Let's do Oya. I dropped the axe and fell to my knees, my numb fingers clutching Oya's collar. Wrong one move and my boot would fall into the snowed-in hole. There would be nobody left to save my sister. Oya, hold on, Oya. Rumka rushed towards Polina and held her by the armpits. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was about to say, I was like, where the hell is he at? Held her by the armpits, putting all of his strength into trying to free her. Here! The beast rushed towards us with the raging fire in the background, their shadows covering the ground like massive carpets. The girl screamed, writhing in the snowy trap. Are you gonna be a coward or are you gonna be determined? Abandon her and run, whispered in the voice in my head. Run, long ears, escape. Nope, we ain't doing that. I screamed as I pulled Oya out. Rumka helped Polina stand up at the same time. Run! What are y'all doing? Bro, I'm sorry. I promised to think of the raspberries. It's okay, sweetie. The pack was catching up to us. I could see their glint in their hungry eyes. Hurry! Grab the axe and run! The wind slashed at our backs in anger. The heart-rendering howl was getting closer and closer. Suddenly, my leg got stuck in the roots. Sharp pain pierced my foot. I knew we were doomed, but I acted cool. One step and another, my twisted ankles sent rocks of pain into my brain. Oya turned around after all and moaned from horror. I didn't want to know what she saw. The tree stepped out of the darkness. The thin country road snaked between the snags and roots. This is where we all die. My sister felt incredibly heavy all of a sudden. My lungs resisted the torture. We couldn't run anymore, we rattled. Polina was mumbling something in desperation. I stood up wheezing. A pair of glowing eyes lit up in the shadows of the tree line. They were getting closer with insane speed. 3 more pairs of eyes were catching up in the growing size. We're surrounded! I clutched the axe, both of my hands, ready to fight until the last drop of my blood. Rumka hesitated for a moment. He stood to the side as if pondering whether he should risk his life for us. Hell no! He shifted his gaze between Oya and me for a while, then stopped at Polina. Swore under his nose, he took out his knife.
Ну вот и всё, да? Это конец?
This is the end, right? Ew! Then we were blinded by the light. I covered my face with the axe, and the next moment I realized that those were the lights of a car jumping on the bumps. It was a police car. The UAZ jumped out in front of us. How the hell did the monsters did not get us? They were fully capable of getting us. We've seen that with in episode 4 when we accept the candy. Its drive immediately slammed the brakes, opening the door on the go. Oh, shit, okay. He stared at us in disbelief. They're here. The killers are here.
Машину! Живо!
Get in the car now. The car fought against a flood of darkness. I made sure the girls got inside, then let Romka pass. The red lights glimmered behind the bushes. The trees, those crooked witches, towered over the UAZ. I finally got in the car myself and slammed the door shut. Oh, shit. At the same time, something jumped at the side of the window. Claws screech against the glass.
Какого?
What the?
Гоните!
Floor it! This is interesting. This is interesting. Wait, the lieutenant pressed on the gas. A snow splash from under the tires. If the car gets bogged down, we'll get torn to pieces. The filthy, dead beasts crawled in the beams of the light. Something pounded on the ceiling. They're above us. UAZ took off, driving over something with a crouching sound. Yeah, get them. Without asking any questions, Sohovno spun the wheel and drove the car along the tree line. The speedometer's needle swung to the right. The engine let out healthy hums. Whoa! Then an owl flashed before the windshield. I turned around and lost my speech. Whoa! Mere inches away from me was the worm-ridden face of a bear. I'm surprised he didn't NFL quarterback charge the like, bro, you could easily take this car down. He jumped on the 3 of the paws right behind the accelerating car, and the first paw he used to try and grab the side of the car. The car light shot through the darkness. We were driving down a forced tunnel. Branches scraped at the car's body, and the mass beaters jumped parallel to the road, but they couldn't catch us. I shouted in jubilation. Wait! You're not out of it yet? We did it. The car jumped over a bump. The wheels turned and wobbly in snow. Then it flew down in a ditch.
Bruh.
The world spun, cut into slices by a beam of light. Oya hit her head multiple times, started crying. I hit the back of my seat in front of me with the temple. The axe ricocheted off the roof and arched through the air. Got stuck before between. Yo, that could have killed somebody, bro. I'm surprised they're even alive. Then a loud bang. The UAZ froze in place. It no longer moved. Takhovnos tugged at the ignition. It just took how many swings? Rolls. Stop, drop, and rolls. Like, come on, bro.
Двигатель сдох.
Of course it would be dead. He hit the wheel in frustration.
Все целый.
No. Somehow okay. Romka whispered to his teeth.
Целый.
We're fine. Polina spoke through tears.
Да.
Duh. I felt my whimpering sister all over.
Больно.
Are you hurt? Take me away. Scorching tears ran down her cheeks.
Заберу. Клянусь.
I will. I swear. Tikhonov gave up the ignition, looked ahead. Uh-oh. The car lights illuminated slabs of granite, twisting crosses. Graveyard. We intruded on the village graveyard. I remember the camera that flew these graves and the bloody rags on the snow. The events of the previous week flashed in front of my eyes in a procession of horrific images. Did my grandma, who was buried along with her useless chants, oh my god, know about the evil that lurks among the pines? Damn, you just said your grandma useless. Under the blankets of frozen soil, my grandma was protected from this madness. But the photography from her gravestone will be forced to helplessly watch the bloody massacre when the beasts get to her grandkids. I pressed my boot into the seat, clutched the handle, and pulled out the axe like a tooth from a dead giant's mouth. Damn. We crawled out of the mangled car. The police lights rhythmically illuminated the gravestones, filling the surroundings with the writhing shadows. I knew some of those shadows were alive and hungry and had sharp fangs. What the f? This nigga thought he ran a 4-flat. Boy, you not Usain Bolt, bro. Stop it. I think he Usain Bolt. He really just Cat Williams. Like, bro, stop. Like the one that flashed behind the crooked hedge. I wobbled toward the officer.
Они здесь.
They're here. Chekhovno didn't reply. What the? Oh, so this is what we seen in the teaser. I watched the stupid as he unstrapped the rifle with the foldable stock. This is the first time I saw the legendary, I'm not gonna say that, this close. Why are we playing this music? They about to get eaten alive. He reloaded the rifle in one smooth automatic motion and I shuddered from the click.
Разберемся.
No biggie.
И не таких мочили.
I've handled bigger fish than that. It's not a movie. Do not talk like you in a movie.
Вы не понимаете.
You don't get it.
Это не просто какой-то маньяк с тесаком.
This is not some serial killer with a bunch
Они
of
не
knives.
люди, а чудовища в масках.
They're not human. They're mass monsters.
В масках?
Mass what?
Не может быть. Но ведь это был сон.
Impossible. That was all a dream. A flute played in the shadows. Seemed some sort of switch was flipped inside of Chekhovno's head. He stood there stiff as a board, a mouth ajar, and he stared into the empty space. What happened to him? Was he that scared? The rifle swung freely on its strap, as if the officer was having a stroke all of a sudden. I read about that in an encyclopedia.
Константин Владимирович.
What? Right now, Chekhovno scared me more than the darkness between the crosses. Wait, does the flute affect adults? Polina squealed and pressed herself into Romka. Oya, who was left in the car, covered her ears with her hands.
Слышите? Оттуда!
Yeah, we can hear it. Oh, brother. The blizzard's wings hurled blankets of snow toward the sky. But where's the wolf and Elisa? Bearing the landscape of sticking out crosses. Bro pulled up like he had ore. Stop it. This is definitely gonna get copyrighted, I'm not gonna lie. The tall figure wearing a goat mask stood between the pair of graves. Puffed up hoodie was on his right. Dancing Teddy was on his left. They looked like demons in car lights. The goat spread his arms and palms turned towards me, the police officer and my friends. The horrific monster posture filled with grace. He towered over the crosses like an ancient graveyard statue. The snowflakes stuck to the decrepit bear and oil mask. So many dead in this soil. Endless death. The frozen, the soil frozen to the bone. He does not have bars, bro. Stop it. You're not getting to eat me, bro. All right. The polar code emanated from the tall figure. The goat pointed at me with his long finger. Even though there was a sizable distance between us, I felt like the monster's claw dug into my stomach. No, into my very soul. Heretics, puny betrayers. That's an interesting statement. Spread out fingers, clutch into a fist. All right. I stuck a glance at Chekhovno and spoke to him in my mind. Don't just stand there, you're an adult. Remember, you have a gun. Yet it seemed like Chekhovno just turned into another kid in the clutches of fear. His pale face reflected the heavy ponderings, as if he was trying to remember something important. No use for you anymore, worthless children? Ain't the whole point is so we can eat? The leader's voice warped, filled with derision. The pack is almost ready. We heard that from the bunny. Or the pack of other... Is this in correlation with the wolves? So what does this have to do with the wolves then? Oh man, this is interesting. The bone flute produced a whiz like that of a whip. Yeah, so when he starts ringing the flute, it's like it turns into their true form.
Мои куколки, мои прожорливые детеныши.
Right.
У вас могло быть все.
Maybe this is because we've been refusing the pills.
Сила, свобода, власть. Вы могли стать ветром в черных кронах деревьев.
Because in the other ending, what was it? I think it's at the end of the coma ending, where we kind of like, we're talking to the forest master. We're like in a delusional state. And we got that bloody bag, obviously of the killed kids. And we're clearly showing that like we've accepted the candy. So to me, this seems like the other side of it, maybe. I don't know. But is this all hallucination though?
Темнотой, что ложится на пушистый снег.
Darkness that descends on the fluffy snow.
Вы могли допрыгнуть до звезд и попробовать их на вкус.
Right. I go up, taking a quick glance at the tiny silhouette inside the police car.
Антон.
Ew. Immediately staggered away in an instinct. When the goat said my name, his mouth filled with saliva.
Ты мог быть ночным зайчиком, скользить во тьме с другими зверями древней тайги.
Okay, that's true. We could have became the next bunny, right?
Шанс утрачен.
The bunny creature himself let us know that as well, like we...
Теперь вы всего лишь угощение. Поминальные пирожки. С вашей помощью родится настоящий зайчик.
The bunny, the new bunny, the real bunny, they're looking for the right bunny to become the next creature.
Нет, я зайчик. Я хитрый, голодный зверь, хозяин.
I bit my lower lip and slightly taste the salty taste of blood filling my mouth. This thing in the forest planted in all of us was akin to the intelligent tumor. Polina trembling lips, the grimace of fear. I saw the grimace of fear at the same time, the deep-seated grievance in Ramka. Oh, surely they're both stricken with that demonic disease.
Истинный зайчик сожрет братика и сестричку и допрыгнет до луны.
For what purpose, Snowmaster, Forest Master? Can you tell homeboy in the back to shut the f up? The goat burped. Despite him being fair distance away from us, we were showered with the stench of compost pit.
Бейте в ладоши. Теперь у своры снова есть свой зайчик. Из прошлого поколения.
This feels like it confirms a lot of the theories about like animal spirits possessing people every so amount of years.
Наша новая старая подружка.
Надеюсь, она по-прежнему умеет играть.
I hope she still knows how to play. The goat pulled out a thin flute made from a shine bone of his sleeve. Shambling the monster brought him the instrument to his left. I didn't want to look. What I wanted to do was grab onto Tuhovnov and scream at him for not doing anything. But the policeman glanced into the forms, as did Polina Romka. I turned around, my teeth chattering from the fear and cold. A slim figure walked out from behind the dark tree trunks, and it was an adult, a woman. Tattered bunny mask covered her entire face. What the fuck? Have I seen her before? The way she walked, the way she positioned her shoulders, her head. Do I know her? Anton's mother turned into the bunny creature in the domestic violence ending. I'm wondering if this is trying to speak to the whole idea of like the previous generation of kids were like the previous bunnies or whatever. Oya pressed her palms against the frosted glass and twisted her neck, following the bunny's movement. What are you doing? Without even looking at us, she glided across the rusty thing. Down the bear lowered their heads in reverence. I felt like the leader of this pack was giving this new bunny a fatherly smile. Okay, look, there's a mask, and then it's obviously here. That looks like Anton's mother. Okay, this is interesting. Wolfie. Wait, what? Ronka? Oh, I mean, they confirmed this, obviously. We already knew this.
Я?
Me? Polina hugged him, protecting Romka from that piercing gaze. But then I saw Takobno turn toward the goat. What?
Нет, я.
Wait, you? Wait, what the f is going on? Even though I thought it was scary hells, it didn't work like that on my friends or me. Takobno's aimed is useless right at the snow.
Константин Владимирович.
Takobno didn't react.
Новое поколение недостойно вобрать в себя темноту. Ты, мой матерый волк Костик, бешеный зверь.
Old Wolf. Was he also the previous creature as well before in his past? What the f? As it was.
Когда-то.
Как будет во веки веков.
Don't you dare pick that up.
Вот что ты искал долгие годы, Костик. Вот почему ты пошел в милиционеры. Я прав.
Чтобы понять, что случилось со мной в детстве.
Oh, shit.
Воспоминания. Я верну их тебе.
Oh, he erases memories.
Константин Владимирович, он все врет.
I grabbed Takobno by the sleeve of his coat. I felt like I was looking at a scarecrow that somebody dressed up as a policeman for shits and giggles. Hypnotized by the music and the mask, Takobno, they couldn't hear me. Cheers,
Константин
random.
Владимирович, это колдовство.
Damn! Takobno pushed me away and walked. He said, move, little bitch, nigga.
Bruh.
Accepted his mask.
Вспомни.
Не надо.
So who's the new wolf? I thought it was Ronka, the way they hinted it all along, and then... Yo started playing. The horrifying sound was aimed strictly at the masked humans. And trapped by the flute's melody, they start swaying, stomping around.
Как хорошо. Как в старые добрые времена.
Alright.
Ой, здравствуйте. Как мы давно не виделись.
Добрый вечер. Какие у ваших деток забавные маски.
Bruh.
Alright. I'm just...
Мы собрались, друзья. Праздник близится. А какой же праздник без угощений?
I'ma shut up. I'ma just let this play.
Не будем мешкать.
Я бы с удовольствием, но у меня дела. Может быть.
The leader of the pack stabbed the icy crust with his fingers or took out a sack from the snow of brown spots. Why the hell is the rest in Russian? The woman in Takobno swayed towards the goat, stood on their tippy toes, trembling from anticipation.
Угощайтесь.
Wait, is there meat? Polina grasped. I would have puked if my stomach was already empty.
Сколько шоколада!
Alright, bro. Calm down.
Надеюсь, ни у кого нет аллергии на сладости. Утомила. Не бывает никакой аллергии.
All right. Let's just. What is this game? Takono barely can tear himself away from the
Мне
deadbeat.
правда пора.
Уйти и не узнать, почему тебя нашли в чаще и куда девались воспоминания.
Yellow call poked out into the trees.
Все здесь.
That's all here. Bones are devoured. Takono's attention.
Не ешьте в сухомятку обжоры.
I wouldn't trust that. All right, this is happening. I feel like this is like Resident Evil 7. I'm just awkwardly sitting at this family table, like just feeling weirded out. Like, what the f is going on, bruh? All right, bro, we get it. He's weird.
Наслаждайтесь. Ни в чем.
All right, bro. Yeah, we get it. They're gonna eat it. How are they gonna eat through their mask? Uh-oh. Rom could know he was still running. Whoa! Open a map to call it to go within the shadow field of feet away. The owl bent her neck, snapping her beak. I record a foreboding silhouette dissolved in the mist, only to appear behind Bianca. The owl walked in circles, preventing our escape. Every time the air entered my lugs, she emerged in front of me, hooting and snapping, swaying her furry face. The leader's lackey took on shoved a bone under his mask, chewed on the tender's object. The woman feasted on his barrel, as if sucking on the custard through a straw. Plenty and I groaned in unison. The Hobart took something red and metallic out of his mouth.
Это Катина заколка! Я ее узнала!
Cat is hairpin for sure. Yeah. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. They already listened to you, buddy. Oh, fuck. Now you got monsters are activated with blickies. The cannibal wearing police uniform bent in half. The woman beside him and did the same. Something was happening to them. Their mass warped. No longer just an element of a carnival. They turned into animal faces. Real maws opened with rough, beastly tongues, touching yellow teeth. A woman with the head of a bunny, a man with the head of a wolf. Why do you have... Alright, I'm not gonna question that.
Все дети погибли. Кроме нас. Потом рогатый папа забрал наши маски. Он сжег их вместе с воспоминаниями. Ничто не гибнет в пламени без следа. Вы вернулись, детки.
Hootie opened her beak, a streak of thick saliva dripping out of it. Teddy threw his paws up in the air and swayed like a roly-poly toy. Takovno tilted his head backwards and let out a short, lonely howl. The wind echoed a howl.
Тайга чует возвращение стаи. Мы почти закончили.
Pack of animal creatures.
Не хватает только лисы.
What happened to Elisa? We only need a fox now. My gaze darted around looking for Elisa. He was talking about the mysterious foxy friend, right? Elisa will come and save us. She can only stand her ground against the bleeding devil. I mean, she has done that before to protect us when we reject the candy. But maybe there's a reason why she's not here. Or maybe there's a reason what happened. Maybe they try to get rid of her because she was like going against them. The graveyard was getting snowed in more and more. I could see the Polina, but he didn't look like a brave hero. Polina looked from behind his back, her eyes glistening with tears.
Будь хитрой зверушкой, девочка. Встань на сторону победителей.
Be a cunning beast, little beast girl. Join the winning side.
И тогда мы закончим ритуал.
Then we will complete the ritual. Oh, I guess is he calling out to Elisa? I looked around once again. I could still find Elisa.
Ritual! Ritual! Ritual!
Please don't ever say that ever in your life, ever again. That's not a friendly face, Tihono. And he spun toward the leader. I was amazed to hear laughter distorted by ancient math. Yes, Tihono was laughing in the face of the nightmarish goat. The next thing the vocal cords of the former policeman produced was a blood-chilling growl. Dao and the bear were stupefied by that kind of disrespect. The goat clicked his teeth. Oh, what you about to do? You about to get down? Beat his ass? The goat clicked his teeth, having no comeback for the rebel. Oh, shit. He said, all that shit. We need a new leader, boy. Uh-oh. So you can rebel against the... I mean, the animal creatures, when they're not getting... At least if we were to base off everything to be true in the past episodes, the animal creatures don't with this. The goat bleated, shaking his horns. Words finally returned to him, but his voice was shaky.
Мой самый преданный пес! Как ты посмел?
My most loyal dog, how dare you?
Самый верный из моих отпрысков. Разве ты не понимаешь?
My most faithful of my cubs, don't you get it?
Я был вынужден избавиться от вас.
I had to get rid of you. Oh, it's because he was rebellious.
Ты убил моих братьев и сестер и разогнал старую стаю.
There's so much lore. There's so much lore.
Верно. Я убил родных детей, но кто помог мне в этом?
Hey, bro, I'm just sitting out. I'm eating the popcorn. I'm just like, you know, hey, bro, I'm absorbing.
Ты, Костя. Иначе они съели бы меня, чтобы допрыгнуть до Луны. Ты выбрал верную сторону.
Interesting.
За это я освободил вас.
The goat chased his hand around Takono and the silent women.
Освободил? Нет, ты предал нас. Сколько лет я томился в ожидании внутри этой мясной клетки. Костя!
Costa, my boy.
Заткнись, старик. Я говорю.
Damn. Are they fighting? Uh-oh.
Меняемся. Бери мою маску, а я возьму твою.
Mask. And it seems like when they ate the human remains, they actually turned into the beast. But, at least these two, or at least Takono. Or these two. Oh, now they're a cat and mouse fight. Okay. The least long fingers cover the goat mask, protecting it. Wait, if you have the goat mask, does that mean you have the ability to control all the monsters? To lead the pack, I'm assuming? The owl and the bear rushed to the master's feet, ready to defend them with their lives. Oh, shit. Now she getting into it, but he wasn't worried about the number of his enemies. We'll see about that, horn fool. The Hovno, as it being controlled by his mask, moved toward the goat. You said, oh, I don't give a fuck about that. I'ma just start shooting this bitch. This nigga a whole ass animal creature and you out here with a blicky. Alright, bro. The AK barked. First the bullets riddled the three of us in front of us with holes. All the bullets hit, but the beast didn't even flinch. Oh, brother. This is going. Is he going outside, bro? To Hove, no. No. Uh-oh. He said, where'd you get that at? Party City? The goat clutched the fruit with its fangs and started playing. Entrance called, the brush moved, and the stripes on the burrow shuddered. Snowflake started saliva dripped from the beast's maws. Holes appeared in their hides. Bro, is that unlimited ammo? Full of crooked fangs open. Balls of maggots rid deep in their mass. Your pack got thinned out, old man. Now let's see whose calls the others will heed. He fell to his knees and I backed to the car when the lieutenant arched his back like a beast. He raised his head toward the ashen skies and howled. A wave of sound crushed the trio in front of them. The snowflakes sped up and a couple of crosses tilted. The flute's melody and the howl imitating clashed like two spears. What the fuck is going on? The metal body of the UAZ bent under the horrifying force. The sparks flew from the hood. Oh, two figures flew out from the darkness. For a second I thought those were my friends, but then I made out the mask. Elisa and Wolfie. Oh! Instead of pouncing at me from behind, devouring me, the twos rushed toward with the goat. I dove in the car and shut the door. Olio was crying, so I hugged her. Damn, you left the other out. Romka and Polina. Her wet face pressed against my collarbone. I have no fucking idea. Judging by the loud sounds and the blood path that was underway outside. Don't look. Close your eye. She obeyed, but still shuddered in my embrace. I'm not looking. The windows fogged up. I could only see shadows rather than outside. Outside, the night and the massacre happening. Scarlet's drops sprinkled on the windshield. I squeezed my fist so hard that my fingernail tore in my palms. Something heavy slammed against the car hood's paws flashed. I didn't want to look, but I couldn't close my eyes. I only saw bits and pieces of the fight. Sounds of it reached my ears in full. A few feet away from the UAZ, hides cracked, muscles tore. A fuzzy shadow staggered up alongside of the car. An owl? A fox? No, both. What the f is that? Wait, what is it eating? The fox put her sharp nose into that hole that formed the owl's chest. Oh, it's the fox, and was eating her entrails. With some pinkish white subcutaneous fat under the feathers, its disgusting layers cracking under from the pressure of the fangs and oozing streaks of black blood. Dude, I did not realize how long this episode was, bro. Before disappearing behind the right side of the car, the beasts tore at each other's necks. The bluish windpipe wiggled from the owl's neck like a worm. A wet tube covered with its fibers of torn meat. Oya pressed into me with her entire body trembling. It was cold out inside the car, but the fear was the reason why we both shivered on the back seat. What are they doing? Where's Mommy? Moment return soon. Hugged my sister and covered her eyes with my hands. Oya's trembling eyelashes tickled my palms.
Не смотри.
Don't look. Windows of a police car were frosted over. I could only see blurry spots jumping around in the blizzard. Somebody jumped over the car engine compartment, crawled under the car, and ran right into it. One spot chasing another. No. Were you paying attention? You fell asleep halfway through the movie. Actually, I wasn't sure. Part of me was strangely composed and cunning and knew that we couldn't rely on the adults. I needed to act. To hold no would lose, I thought. He's weak. My magic can't be defeated by bullets. It can only be defeated by other magic. Bro, what? I had the mask under my vest since the moment I took it out of my mouth. Only I can help my friends. At that moment, I thought I could hear Romka and Polina's voices muffled by their nature's wrath. A dark oval rose up behind the driver's door, as if somebody face poked inside the frozen glass, only to disappear the next moment. Did I, though? Were those thoughts on my own? Oya's tears warmed up my palm, and I was running out of time. I could have become a hero for Rama and Polina, and for my little sister too, but I would need a miracle to save them. While keeping Oya's eyes covered, I took out the mask. Where did it come from? Who put the beast inside? And what did that dark power want? Do I really want to become one with something I have no comprehension of? It's like dousing yourself in gasoline and lighting yourself on fire and rushing your enemy. That's what your inner beast wants. Carefully pulled my hand away from Oya. My little sister shut her eyes as she spoke. Where are you going? Nowhere. I'm here. I'll be here. My mask felt pleasant to the touch. It beckoned me. Goosebumps ran all over my skin. I felt pleasant anticipation. The kind you feel as a kid right before Christmas when you still believe in magic and the kind old man wandering in the moonlight. I brought the mask to my face. Oya's fingers looped around my wrist. I turned my head only to be met with her pleading gaze. Don't put it on.
Ты не понимаешь. Это наш шанс.
You don't get it. This is our chance.
Это ловушка. Плохое не может сделать хорошо.
It's a trap. Bad things can't do good. She was looking for words to make me reconsider, but Oya saw something I couldn't.
Остановись!
Stop it. She's confident now. Then what? Just bury our friends and family as if we even survive until the funeral? Somebody started banging on the doors to my right, making Oya shriek. The blurry hand slammed the fist against the window nails, scraping up the rime. The door handle creaked under the push of someone who was trying to get into the car. I didn't realize how long this episode was going to be. This is interesting. So for this ending, we do not put it on. So we're not going to put it on.
Ты права, как всегда.
You're right.
Прости меня.
As always, I'm sorry. I dropped the mask. I didn't need any more of that horrific magic birthed by dark force. I was done playing a beast. As if in protest, the passenger door flung open so fast that it almost flew out of its hinges. The blizzard raged outside, with a slime female silhouette protruding out of its whiteness. I couldn't see where its head was at. Ew! Pale hands felt around the metal parts like some sort of albino spiders, crawling onto my and Oya's shelter. My sister pierced my shoulder with her nails. The woman leaned in, slowly bending her back like a ruskin mechanism. That's nasty. The chin with the matted fur appeared. Her mask was almost identical to the one that I used to cover my face. Many times more horrifying, twisted as if it was reflected in the curved mirror. Pupils flashed in the holes. Nails screeched against the metal. Please don't. Who is she? Why do I find these grotesque movements so familiar? It's because your mama, boy. Oya wailed, pressing herself into me even harder. The woman lunged into the car, snapping her teeth inches away from my face. Stop! Another snap, the monster's nostrils pulled in the air with a loud sound and sniffed it around. I'm scared. The woman bent her neck in a beastly manner, gurgling. She was trying to remember how to speak. My precious child. I realized she was talking to Oya. Come with me. I'll be protecting you now. Oya shook her head, recoiling from their outstretched hands. But you're mine. For a moment, demonic anger left in the eyes that shone in the slits of the old mask. I swear I saw despair in them. This is interesting. I want to go home to mommy. Oya thrashed around hysterical. Scary monster. The woman's voice changed. It was full of pain now. The eyes darkened, slits glistened, but not with anger or tears. I stared incredulously at the monster that was about to rip us to shred just moments ago. With a long hand with the long fingers reached out toward Oya again, but stopped midway. Suddenly, the woman with the head of the bunny slipped out of the car and dashed into the thicket of the fight. Whoa! I saw her sink her fangs into Tohono's neck and tear shreds of meat out of it. Oh wait, why? The wolf darted across the crimson snow, whining in pain as he tried to feign to shrug off the crazed bunny woman. You know who it was? I don't know. I wanted to throw the mask further away, but it stuck to my fingers. I shook my hand, ridding myself of that nasty thing. I pulled the door and locked it myself and locked it. We'll stay inside until everything boils over, until the forces of good triumph. Because that's what always happens in the stories that Mom read to me when I was little. Hey, that's metaphysics for you. Oya dropped her head on my shoulder. Colorful spots continued their chaotic movement outside of the no longer translucent windows. We just sat inside the car waiting for the end. Bones and wings crunched. I put my palms over Oya's ears. A horn shadow marched right in the front of the car. The melody of death and hunger drilled itself into my brain. I thought that the wolf Tohono was controlling the mindless Alyssa like the goat controlled his pack. The beast versus beast. Darkness versus darkness. What the hell? Wolfie rolled away. Hit the cross and hung on like a crucified god my dad believed in. The Tohono roared inside the raging storm. The gloat bleated. A fountain of blood rushed toward the night sky. The music stopped. So quiet now. Yes, my dear.
Сиди здесь. Я посмотрю одним глазком и вернусь.
Sit here. I'll go take a quick look and return. No, don't go.
Я вернусь.
I'll be back.
Обещаю.
I promise. She let go of my collar, albeit reluctantly, and then sniffled. I took the axe from the back seat. I had no idea where I got my strength, but maybe staying inside oblivious was more terrifying than stepping outside. With caution, I stepped on the ground. So they just dueled each other to death? The battlefield was scarlet from blood. Teddy's corpse with his head crushed. The remains of an hour, missing eyes with one wings. Only Alyssa and the bunny woman were nowhere to be found. Tohono clutched his throat, trying in vain to close the wound. Blood pumped out between his fingers. The mask he wore was torn to shreds, like just the skin underneath. Wow. This is crazy. Oh, brother. Okay. His enemy's claws tore off half of his face. The eyelid down to his chin, removing soft tissue of his cheek. I could see the yellow teeth of his upper jaw through that pit. His left eye leaked out, looking like the white of the raw egg.
Что со мной, Антон?
What's happening to me, Anton?
Не хочу.
I don't want to.
Горячо так. Горячо.
Oh, he's dead. He wheezed one last time and went limp. I made sure Oya was still inside the car, leaning against the driver's seat. Dragged my feet towards the graves. The goat clawed between the fences, clinged into the snow. The Tohono had gutted him. The garlands of intestines dragged after him on the icy crust. left a sticky trail like the slime oozing snail. Stomach acid sizzled on the snow and the brown pus oozed over under his mask. Alright, bro, we get it. He's nasty. Smelly bits of flesh fell off and shriveled. The goat stank of wet gray piss and firecracker sulfur. He's going to die, I thought.
Я смогу забрать все эти маски себе.
I'll be able to take all these masks for
Сам
myself.
решать, кто сможет прыгать со мной до Луны. А кому меня бояться?
These foreign thoughts filled me up like hot water and warmed me up. Once again, I imagined the night trail in the magnificent, fantastical forest. How nice it was running on it. The goat raised his hand. The muddy mask dangled his crooked fingers and studied me with his holes. It's like its fern shone like silver.
Когда она коснется моего лица, все беды уйдут. Я поем и побегу. Буду прыгать до небес, до облаков. Буду играть со звездочками.
Stifling corpse rustled inaudibly as it fell on its side. It wasn't as disfigured as the others, but I was able to easily recognize it.
Это тебе. Надень, Антон, надень. Хороший мальчик. Это твое.
I didn't listen. I looked at the turnip coat hanging on the cross. Somewhere underneath it laid a dead, bloody child, Roma. His entire human death mask was calm and peaceful. He was my friend. My only friend that died without even getting his confines of his accursed village. Roma couldn't give all the good he had in him to the world. Boiling heat inside of me started to dissipate. It was replaced by pain and longing.
Скорее! Надень маску! Плясать в ночи! Забыть про все!
Alright. Who are you? I directed that question in my mind to the obsessive voice.
Что? Я это ты!
Nobody special. There was a worry in the voice. I am you. Lies. I looked at the mask.
Уже давай, давай, надень ее! Протяни руку, и ты будешь свободен! Давай, я жду, быстрее! Ты нужен своим друзьям! Убирайся!
Get out. My inner voice went silent for a moment, lay dormant, but then it suddenly growled.
О, я уйду!
Oh, I'll get out. It didn't sound meek and pathetic anymore. It talked
Но
back.
не думай, что мы разойдемся по разным тропинкам и больше не свидимся!
Don't think that we'll go on our separate ways and never come
Я
together
вернусь!
again.
Рано или поздно.
I'll be back sooner or later.
Вернусь, когда ты будешь меньше всего этого ждать.
I'll be back when you least expect it. I felt uneasy from these threats. Somebody inside me, a total stranger, directed my thoughts, my feelings, and my fears.
Вернусь.
I'll be
Когда
back.
ты будешь нарезать свежие овощи для похлебки, и пальцы окажутся в опасной близости от лезвия. Вернусь. Когда
Self-hatred
скинешь
be like-
колун над поленом, а Оля замешков склонит над ним белокурую головушку. Или позже. Да, намного позже.
But I also knew I couldn't hide from this voice. Not in the thick taiga forest, chock full of ancient monsters. Not in the forest hut with barred windows. Not on the moon where the endless midnight trail could lead me. The voice pretended to be me oozed from the gaping hole of the mask and escaped my lips at the same time. Because it pretended to be me, always.
Может, я объявлюсь, когда ты подрастешь и будешь держать на руках своего малыша, сотканного из лучей солнечного света. Как легко загасить огонек лампадки. Подует ветерок и...
Squeezed my eyes shut and tears sprayed out of them.
Замолчи!
Shut up.
Я буду ждать. Убирайся.
Go away.
Можешь прогнать меня сейчас, заглушить, подавить.
Can chase me away now. You can silence or suppress
Мне
me.
наплевать.
I don't care.
Я — это не ты.
I'm not you.
Я часть тебя. Всегда им был.
I'm part of you. Always have been.
Отныне мы вместе.
From now on, we're together. Oh yeah, Mom, Dad. The icy wind cut my skin, sending painful pulsing painful pulsing all over my body. Couldn't tell anymore where this was all happening in reality or if I was just being delusional for a while now. Yeah, bro. Somewhere behind the fences, a shadow stretched like a giant centipede without hiding among the tree trunks. Not a gust of bone-chilling when it assaulted me, but it also brought a familiar whisper to me, as if the forest itself was talking to me and not the carnivorous shadow that swayed in the wind. Oh, that's Elisa. Blob of darkness that enveloped near the treetops started crunching and shrinking to the size of the teenager. Writhing in silhouette, I started to recognize the image of a fox girl I knew. At least that's how I remembered her on the day that we first met. It's especially good when you don't need to dance to anyone's tune. Ooh, interesting. I shifted my gaze from the blade of the axe in my head and to the sliced up ghost mask. I stared at the stiffened body of the horned giant and I couldn't even tell if he was alive or dead. Ooh, she's showing that she's been rebellious for a reason. We don't have masters anymore. Right.
Порой в наш лес забредают люди, которые заслуживают стать нашей добычей. Что ни говори, а среди людей полно настоящих чудовищ.
Okay.
Последние стаи, зайчик. Только я и ты. Нам нужно заботиться друг о друге. Разве ты не видишь?
Can't you see that? Lisa took a step toward me and revealed the deep cuts in her hands that dripped from the blood in the moonlight. But they got lazy as hell. How they put the blood on her like that? The scarlet blood bubbled up in the wounds left by sharp fangs and claws.
Ты нужен мне. Мы будем свободны. Сможем идти куда ты захочешь.
А как же моя прежняя жизнь? Моя семья, Оля, друзья.
That goat master like, bro,
just take the f***ing mask. I'm getting tired.
Как же Полина?
Lisa stared at me in disbelief for a moment, but then she let out a stifled laugh. Then another one, and then she was laughing hysterically, holding her stomach. Person behind the mask was clearly smiling, but then what they said next was harsh and cold.
Пизду Полину.
Alright. Sheing up, I get it. After what she did in the other episode, I get it.
Только ты и я. Решайся, малыш.
But what if that means something else, though?
Только, пожалуйста, не бросай меня.
This is an interesting ending. I got a better grip of the axe under the intent of the gaze of the cunning fox. Remember the bunny's threats, and then I remember Elisa's sweet promises, believing in which was total madness. I remember Oya's warm light, and I made my choice. All right, this is an interesting end. All right, well, we gotta put it on this time. The axe traced an arch through the air and slammed it into the ground near the mask. A strike that slashed the bone of the back of my pass. I fooled myself for too long. I ran from my own shadow. My stubbornness almost killed Oya, and probably killed my parents.
Алиса права. Среди людей есть чудовища, заслуживающие самой худшей участи. Участи встретиться в лесу с такими, как мы.
Interesting.
Их не защитят глупые заговоры старух в гробах. Их не спасет бог моего папы. Здешний бог — это стая. И я ее часть.
That's right. Damn, he just fell off like that? My fingers touched the invisible ancient shell. It was more than ancient. It was the pines that grew from the ashes of the world. It was more ancient than the creatures that writhed in the burial ravines. Good. Through the slits In the long-eared face, I saw two blurry Elisa's, and I didn't even have time to say goodbye to my previous life.
Почувствуй.
Feel it. Mask touched my skin. Felt like I submerged my face in boiling water, but it felt pleasant somehow. I smelled the soil filled with my entire being. Saw a trail of bunny footprints in the snowy field, a dotted line that led towards the forest. I saw the roots that constantly moved, intertwined, growing out of my trembling heart. I saw the black branches that reminded me of a ladder that led to the moon that hung up in the raging skies. That smoke flakes that melted on my hide. The undercoats full of fleas that I wanted to scratch myself with my hind leg. Forced myself to think about my sister, about the wind that wandered inside the tree hollows, about the eventual linting, about the old me will peel off with the patches of dirty fur, about the sweet berries in the dark that I could grab from the branches with my lips.
Я знала, что она будет тебе к лицу. Как долго ты откладывал, Антоша.
Антоша. Чье это имя? Зачем вообще нужны имена? Зверю нужны лапы, которые понесут сквозь ночь, и зубы, чтобы скалиться, и слюна, чтобы смачивать жесткое мясо. Зверю нужна прыть, а не клички, позволяющие людям отличать одного зверя от другого. Я неотличим. Я сольюсь с тенями. Я стану частью стаи.
Shook my head.
А теперь пойдем. Нужно позаботиться о твоей сестре.
Oh yeah. I need to get out of this place. Turn around and look at the place.
Можно поиграть немного. Прижаться к стеклам масками и посмотреть, узнает ли нас Оля.
Some fun pricking humans in the graveyard. I forced myself to move. Paw hand, of course, was a hand that pulled on the passenger door.
Все хорошо.
It's... Molly screamed at the top of her lungs and immediately cut herself off. She went limp as lost and unconscious. Instead of her savior, she saw monsters trying to get her into the car. Creatures of the winter into the forest thicket.
Она просто не привыкла к твоему новому лицу.
Let her rest. She's just not used to your new face. I carefully took my sister out of the car, amazed how edible she was. Inside me, I just felt like a parasite inside of... Just like that parasite inside of Zoko. Like the darkness inside of the black garage. Something ancient smirked and it spun its long ears. The mildew mask tightened my skin. It was just a mask for a morning costume party.
Ты веришь в утро?
Oh, you believe in mornings? Gloated in my inner voice. I could take off whenever I want.
Но ты ведь не хочешь, зверёныш.
But if you don't want to, you beast. My eyes wetted as icy fluff. I fished half forgotten out of the sea. The old person.
Слышишь? Оставь ее здесь. С ней все будет нормально.
Leave her here? Thought if I let my sister go right now, I would sever the last thread connecting me to my previous life. Lisa looked at me with encouragement. I lowered oil on the side of the road. I would have stood over her like an inanimate object, like a stone, a dusty stuffed bunny from a regional museum, if not for Elisa's order. Run! I answered that call with every muscle in my body. It was like a Tetris piece that could be stopped, rotated, Three big jumps we crossed the road in the scared force. Nice force. The corpse force. The magic force. It locked us into its embrace. Orange car lights that looked like our eyes floated from the darkness. We watched as Dad's BMW took a sudden turn to the side of the road and screeched to halt before a little girl on the asphalt. Joy and grief mixed inside me when I saw Dad jumping out the car. He was alive, but forever lost for me. Barred with the tiny brush branches separating from us, two creatures of the Russian force. I noticed my dad holding a gun. Would he shoot his own son if I were to walk into the road right now? He would recognize me or take me for a monster just like Oya.
Я здесь. Я с тобой. Очнись, Олечка. Все в порядке, папа здесь.
Okay. Dad picked up Oya with the anxious gaze, stopped on the wall of pines on our side of the road. Right on me. I could smell his desperation, his stupefaction. I knew he couldn't see me. I knew that I could never see my parents or my sister ever again. Dad placed Oya in the passenger seat of the car and slammed the door shut and drove backwards. It's not backwards. I watched him turn the wheel and drive away. Forever. The blizzard consumed both the car and the entire world of the boy named Anton. Elisa's fingers sought out my numb hand and squeezed it tight, reminding me of the fact that from now on I had a new family.
Тьма бесконечна. В ней еще столько всего интересного.
Let's go. Darkness is endless. There is so much interesting stuff out there. I didn't protest. We followed the trail of two dead kids, Polina and Romka. Damn. Fire grew behind the tree trunks. The house I once called home was engulfed in flames. We walked out of the thicket and went around the base of that monumental torch. Its beams cracked as they oozed sap, and the roof collapsed, causing an explosion of sparks. The fire feasted on this pass, and the flames licked the low skies with their giant red tongues. I looked at Elisa, intercepted her intense stare. Their scarlet glint reflected on the false mask in her eyes. My partner's figure was surrounded by a purple ore. I saw the fire in her and sensed molten geysers rise inside of me. I've never seen anything more beautiful than this masked girl. It's absolute freedom, I thought. This entire force only for the two of us. Everything else is burned
Я
down.
умру, если останусь стоять.
I'll die if I keep standing here. Did I really say that out loud?
Бежим же, глупенький.
Then let's run, dummy. We ran with only our shadows. The pioneers of this new and yet unimaginable old world being faster than us in the entire universe. Only the moon was higher than us. The master was dead and we were our own masters now. We could play in the sad shadows. We could roll around until we dropped dead. We could bite each other. We could devour.
Алиса, постой!
Alisa, wait up.
Только не говори, что устал.
Don't tell me you're
Устал?
tired.
Я могу бежать 1000 лет!
Tired, I could run for 1,000 years.
А я миллион.
And I can run for 1,000,000.
Мне хорошо, но...
I feel great, but...
Ну, ты простудился? Подхватил ангину? Влюбился в кого-то?
Что? Нет, не знаю. Мне как-то странно. Как будто внутри меня кто-то разговаривает. Прямо в голове.
Ага.
Ах, это! А я уже разволновалась.
Alisa's palms landed on my shoulders and I immediately stopped caring about anything but her voice, her eyes still full of fire, as if we're surrounded by flames, as if the reality itself was burning, like that stupid house at the edge of the village.
Пройдет. Я обещаю. Голос затихнет. Нужно только бежать. В ногах вся правда. Разве тебя не учили?
I wanted to ask which voice would subside, the long-eared shadow and my split consciousness, or my own. But it was no longer the time to ask questions. It was time for games. So they're jumping, having fun. We climbed tall trees, peep at the children, walked down at the forest trail. They clung at each other, reminded me of someone. I couldn't remember who. Wow.
Сладенькие. Напугаемые? Совсем немножко.
Damn.
Эй, вы!
Какие смешные у вас маски!
Маски заблудившихся человечков.
А вдруг в лесу водятся хищные звери?
Вдруг вас надумают съесть?
Цап! Цап!
Цап! Пускай идут.
Мы просто баловались.
Знаю. Но давай поклянемся.
А как?
Приложи руку к сердцу. Можно и так. Мы клянемся. Повторяй.
This can work.
Клянемся.
Не обижать беззащитных.
To never hurt the defenseless.
Никогда ни за что.
Interesting.
Клянемся охотиться только на чудовищ.
Interesting. Lisa squinted and raised her fox nose. What's wrong?
Кстати, о чудовищах. Ты не чувствуешь?
Interesting. Okay. Picture of broken.
Это тот. С зайчьей губой.
Предлагаю новую забаву.
Охота на монстра?
Ловишь на лету.
Prey was agile, but only made for more desirable. Killer somehow managed to get out of his cell. Shot on the stump on his out is interesting.
Алло? Граф? Слышишь меня?
Wow, this is crazy.
Вижу цель, не вижу преград. Как? Положил мусоров, как терминатор из волыны. Да шучу, не серчай. Там в участке кипиш был. Мусорок, которому ты кашлянул, меня выпустил. Да, инструменты вернули. А что толку? Казначей, походу, слинял.
Bookkeeper. Suddenly I remembered he was talking about my dad. Could my dad have my... Ooh. Oh, okay. So they're tying it. Okay. All right. Let's see. As if to confirm my hunch, the killer spoke in a hoarse whisper.
Дом Петровых сгорел. Спалили хату во всех смыслах. Не я. Похоже, казначей наш не нам одним дорогу перешел. Прерываешься, слышишь? Ёбаная дыра. Я думал за ним гнать, но местные мою тачку по запчастям разобрали, пока ебалом щелкал в мусарне.
Okay.
Даже иконы вытащили, черти. Пфу, ничего святого! Я в лесу! Алло!
Wow.
Граф, в лесу я! Буду на юг уходить! По любасу менты следом идут! Сброшу хвост и за казначеем блеском пойду.
Не пойдешь.
She nodded and had a smile on her face.
Ну ты же сам сказал пацаненка Петровского не трогать. Сказал, граф? Гондона Петрова, блядь!
Oh, man, okay.
На каток бы сковырнул, зуб вырвал, и сразу бы узнали, где пахан его.
Сейчас ты все узнаешь. Будет тебе мой ноготок. Будет тебе мой зуб.
My mind wandered above the snowy mounds like the camera moving above the graves in that TV report. I pressed my special face into the gnarled bark. Look to the side, avoid losing sight of the careless profile. When he spoke, his short hair on his temples moved ever so slightly. The Adam apple moved up and down. I wiped up my chin. I realized saliva was dripping down from it.
Шел я за ним, граф. школы шел, и не один раз. Только его следы исчезали. Будто их зверье замело. Ты слышишь?
I hear you.
Ты тут?
Here, my edible, my cornered, my meatball. Your heart is pounding, your blood is inside your arteries. Blood pumping inside your arteries. I imagine that ball and beating the chest wanted to press my lips against its... Wow. Yo, this game is crazy. Like in the cooking books, written for monsters. Darkness completely enveloped us, but he saw me thanks to the moon shining over the sky in the glade. Monsters have sharp eyes, and he was a monster, not because of his hair lip.
Погоди-ка, граф. Тут кое-что интересное. Я перезвоню.
Price's gaze stuck to me. He slid the phone in his pocket. Then he bent slowly down and then finished his incident towards his eye. He acted like I was some sort of forest critter he didn't want to scare off.
Ну, привет. А чё это у нас за бал маскарад, а?
Dan slipped out of the bag and quickly hid behind his back. That big, stupid human thought his weapon would scare me. I just stood there, my eyes downcast, all innocent, and looked up at him as I
Что
got
ты
closer.
делаешь в лесу в такое время? Ты один? Я тебя знаю.
Red tail flashed in the brushes behind its bulky figure. I bit on my cheeks from the inside and could stop myself from laughing. There's a tinge of worry in the killer's
Зачем
voice.
тебе эта маска? Ты же сын Петрова, верно? Или нет?
His free hand reached out toward me. I froze in the air. Continued its path towards my screeching jaws. I let his finger touch my true face. I wasn't afraid
Я
anymore.
просто посма.
Let me take... Look, drowned in his crunch on his own. The killer yanked his hand back and held up to his eyes. Wow. His wrist was painted scarlet with the blood that quickly drenched his sleeve. Hairlip guy was stunned as he stared at the stumps left in his place of his fingers. I chewed in a hurry, joined the I've never tried before. Monster meat, even though I thought it was a tender. My strong molars made quick work of the skin and then the bones and the gristle. I was amazed how tasty it was for being such a nasty guy. I didn't even notice he aimed the gun at my forehead with his intact hand. Alyssa jumped out of the shadows and hung on to the screaming man. His legs gave away. I watched him from sidelines. Two masked creatures, beating 100 beasts, rushed toward the fumbling body and started tearing it apart with his snow white fangs. Like Brahmas, they peeled off the muscles from his bones and chewed down on his sinews. The killer hit him with his intact fist, but they didn't feel pain. He tried to run, but his foot was untied from his boot out from the clearing. The threads of his skin stretched from the foot to his leg.
Господи Иисусе, избави меня от зла!
Как думаешь, избавить? Сейчас посмотрим.
Oh, shit. We raised our faces toward the sky as if we were waiting for a lighting that would come down on us as the divine punishment of our sins. There was no god in the sky, just a pernicious pagan moon. Killer wept, covered himself with what he had left in his wrists.
Силою благодати Твоей отврати и удали всякие злые несчастья, действуя по наущению дьявола!
Антон, ты действуешь по наущению дьявола?
Вроде бы нет. А ты?
Не похоже.
Господи, услышь меня!
I leaned in and engraved my face in the grimace of fear on his mangled face. That was cooler than Disneyland. Bruh. This was our Disneyland of pain. Here in the hungering darkness.
Никто тебя не услышит, а вот ты послушай. Я здесь Бог. Это наш лес. Мы его санитары. Теперь можешь перестать молиться. Можешь просто кричать.
Those teeth? Right. And I completely merged into one of the feasting creatures. Okay. Yep. You guys calm down back there. Like we still have a show going. He's confused. He's losing his memories. Just like Tikono. I traced my animal face with my paw.
Что-то гложет тебя, милый?
I think gnawing at you,
Я
darling.
боюсь, что забуду.
I think I'm scared I'll forget.
Забудешь?
Я боюсь, что когда наступит весна, я окончательно стану зверем и не узнаю тебя.
Разве это можно забыть? Разве можно забыть все, что случилось с нами?
Звери помнят.
Весной и жарким летом, осенью и лютыми зимами, в логовах и на охоте, у водопоя и в период линьки я буду рядом.
I dreamed for her touch and her gaze to last forever, but she pulled her hand. I knew what to do. That knowledge lived inside of me, and the foreign voices on the other hand were gone. Either my inner bunny went into hibernation, or did we become one? After all, both on the outside and in the inside. Many moons have passed before the air was filled with the smells of spring. What the f***? Why is this in color? Our terrifying summer that had changed our bodies will have much harder time to endure during what was creeping closer. We needed to shapeshift, to shed our old skin. What? Fuck. Alright. Wait out in the shade of the ancient forest. Alisa and I turned our backs towards each other. You need to believe.
Я верю.
I do.
Иди и будь собой.
Go and believe yourself. Both took a step away from each other at the same time toward the nascent light of the unknown day. Our feet... okay... Oh, wow. She actually turned into a full... Okay. Knew that Alyssa was studying her own shadow behind me, and her shadow was probably flapping its Fluffy's tail in anticipation. One more step, and I stepped out of my clothes, and in like an old skin, I fell into all floors. Alyssa also looked over to me on her shoulder. Our eyes met under permanently changing skies in the endless forest. Before running off to the thicket, I asked her in my mind. Well, I know if it's you, if I see you again. Then I realized there was no force in the world that could ever make us forget.
Со мной ты в безопасности.
Мальчик, смотри, я снимаю свои...
Okay.
Все, что в потемках ты принял за истину глупой.
I know y'all want to hear the music. I don't think this is copyright.
Я становлюсь лисой, ветер уносит ресницы, глаза и губы. В мире за каждой маской сидит зверья. Волки, медведи, собаки, свиньи и куры. Я буду нежно снимая с тебя твое личико, мило снимая твою шкуру. Прыгай же выше сосен и хохочи. Я навсегда, я вечно буду с тобою. Лица, как листья, летят в ледяной ночи. Можно носить любое. Да не пугайся, не стой предо мной столбом. Маски меняй здесь.
All right, y'all. Love recipe. Hello, Oya. Your name is quite famous among the TikTok community. Oh my god. How many more surprises does my brain need to take? Oh my god, Tiny Bunny, no. Did you just make Oya become a TikTok star? Your name is quite famous among the TikTok community. That is because your kids are in top 10 the most successful influencers in Russia. Their profile boasts of... Oh my brother bear. How does it feel to be a young mother of full-time social media stars? I can't complain. They may be stars on the internet, but offline they're normal kids with the advantages and little quirks. Like you know, you can become too fussy. They can become too fussy. So, do you support the social media careers for your daughter and son? Wholeheartedly. I also advise other parents to do the same. Don't stand in the way of your kids' creative endeavors. Help them grow, and they'll be eternally grateful. What's the secret behind your star family? You share it with us? Why, it's love, of course. Interesting. It's an interesting little thing. All right, y'all. The recipe for love. This is the ending that they said that people would probably prefer and like more compared to all the other endings. First of all, but hold up. Also, y'all some sick motherfuckers. I'm talking to you, Psychono. I want this to be clear, first and foremost. Look what the time. Never mind. It is literally 4 a.m. now. You guys can't say I don't do anything for content anymore because I literally started recording around 10. So I was like, okay, I don't think this is gonna take long. Let me just do the recipe for love ending.
Bruh.
5-6 hours of recording? Are you f***ing dense? Most of them are probably like, why did you record this long, Josh? It's because I'm a maniac. I'm a f***ing freak. I'm no better than f***ing Anton and Elisa. I honestly, I don't have enough time to explain my thoughts. I'm tired as hell. Hey man, shout out to Tiny Bunny and the team. We are definitely not done with the game, obviously. I'm not saying that we're done. There's more endings, guys. There's more endings. Hopefully they're more easier than this one. I didn't think this ending was gonna be this long. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, you guys let me know what you guys think. I will disclose all my thoughts the next episode. All right, take care. I'm just